went to Africa. Back at school, they would laugh at us. Now it's cool to be black as fuck. Now it's cool to be from Africa, huh? Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. It's so cool to be from Africa. It's so cool to be from Africa. I'm so cool, I went to Africa. Back at school, they would laugh at us. Tell the truth, it was cruel. Now it's too cool to be black as fuck. Now it's cool to be from Africa. Now it's cool to be from Africa. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. Met the coolest youth with stamina. Ate the sweetest fruit, I matched it up. Had some banku, ate some food with some good stew belly bus. Kelly Welle, ate some red with some jollof, I enough. Plantain made me cuckoo, so much good food, man, ate too much. Yam chips too added up. Man, don't be mad at us. I took a plane from Canada. I can't complain, I landed, bruh. Soon as I landed, they handed up. All of that hate ain't adding up. I took my words and just backed it up. It's always been cool to be black as fuck. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. It's so cool to be from Africa. It's so cool to be from Africa. It's so cool to be from Africa, huh? Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. Strongest backs, they manage enough. Too cool, they balance food with no hands. This ain't a bluff. Next strong, they very tough. Made me just level up. It's always been cool to be black as fuck. It's always been cool to be black as fuck. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. The women intelligent, beautiful, fit, and hella thick, yeah. Dripped in melanin, sun kissed, it's evident, yeah. The men real gentlemen, so fine, so eloquent. Melanin dipped in elegance. Ghana is so heaven sent. Homer real medicine. Homer black excellence. Gain independence. By Ghana's first president. Kwame Nkrumah represents freedom with no hesitance. Justice and no settling. Let this settle in. All of the riches from Africa. Met the coolest kids in Africa, boy. All of the wealth is in Africa. Buy some land and sell all of your toys. I need to get out of Canada. Create a business, now you self-employed. Your money will stretch like it's algebra. This is the truth, man. This ain't a ploy. Strongest backs, they manage enough. Too cool, they balance food with no hands. This ain't a bluff. Next strong, they very tough. Made me just level up. It's always been cool to be black as fuck. Always been cool to be black as fuck. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. It's so cool to be from Africa. It's so cool to be from Africa. It's so cool to be from Africa, huh? Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up.
You know, they taught me words like Madase, Apauta, Fremi. Went to Ghana.
Okay. Okay, finally. Sorry about that, guys. There's just been a lot going on. not bad things, but just a lot going on. So, welcome to the show. Today is gonna be more of like a rant and maybe to just explain things from a Ghanaian perspective because I don't know, I've just noticed that there has been a lot of talk about the year of return, and that was like in 2019. So I'm like, 4 years later, is there no other news for people to talk about than something that happened in 2019? Like, are we going to go to 2027 and we're still going to be talking about the year of return as if it just happened? Like, that's the thing that I find really funny. But other than that, just wanted to say hi to everyone. Hope you guys are all well. And to everyone watching back in the playback, let me know what you guys think, what your thoughts are on all of this. So, to just start from the beginning, right? Let me give a perspective of why, when people say people were invited to Ghana to get scammed, why I don't really feel that people got scammed, right? Because this is the thing, if you're traveling, you have to apply for a visa, right? So I know for the visa process in Ghana, it's better if you buy the visa before you get to the country. I believe during the year of return, they had expedited things where you could get the visa where you're actually in Ghana. But normally, traditionally, you're supposed to apply for a visa before. So when you apply for a visa to go somewhere, the price is given to you. There's no like, if your argument is that it's expensive, okay, I agree. Yes, the visa is expensive. But then if you agree to pay for it and then all you could say about it after was, "Oh my gosh, it's so expensive." It's like, okay, yeah, and you're able to afford it. Move on. It's like, come on, stop. And yes, the Ghanaian visa is expensive, but as someone who is a diaspora, you could actually go to Ghana and live there 7 years, be free to go to and fro with minimal problems. Like they'll literally give you like a 7-year residency if you apply for it. So it's like, yeah, it's expensive, but then by you being of African descent, of anywhere in the world, like any African in the world, you could benefit from that. So I feel like that's something that's actually really cool because if you look at other countries, they have really strict processes of how to get to the country, how to get out, how to do this, how to do that. I don't think Ghana is that bad. Just to like defend the country for 2 seconds. Another argument that people had is, oh, um, oh, when you go there, you're getting scammed because, there are no prices. So then you go to the market seller and they just give you an up price because you're from outside of the country. And it's like, the nerve of someone to actually look at someone that the national um, annual average income that a Ghanaian makes is under 3,000 US dollars. So $3,000 is what someone makes a year, supposedly. But let's just go with it, $3,000. The nerve of someone who at least makes 10 times more that to like say they're being scammed by someone who makes $3,000, it's like if the market price is too high, you could go to a different market. You could go somewhere else. You could like how much are they really scamming you? Like how much are is someone really scamming you at the market, like figuratively speaking. Now, if you're talking about you're going to an electronics store and they're giving you like an exuberant price that doesn't make any sense, okay, I can agree with that. But talking about being scammed at the market, it's like, dude, there's ways of preventing that. So if you didn't take, precautions to prevent that, then I really just don't feel bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I really like Pete. I feel like in a lot of the videos that people, because what I noticed, there was this thing. Some people have never been there and they're just hopping on the bandwagon. So they've never been to that country. So they're just hopping on the bandwagon and everyone's saying they're getting scammed. So they're like, oh, yeah, 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 they scam. It's like, you never been there. So I don't even know why you're talking. But if you've been there before, right? I don't understand how it's not obvious that you're coming from the outside. You're coming from the West. You're coming from a developed nation. You're coming from a nation of opportunities. Like, you're going to stand out, even if you're not speaking, by the way that you dress, even the way that you look, the way that you smell. You're going to stand out. So it's like you come from a country where the government helps you. They help you to make a living. They help you to like imagine first world entitlement where people come from a country that if you're unemployed, you get benefits to stay home. Like that's the type of country you're coming from. A country that if you don't have a job, the government will give you money to stay home. Of course, it is taxpayers' dollars, but still, there's still something. Okay? Like there's homeless people out here that make $600 a month. I'm like, you're making more. You're literally making more from staying home than someone who has to go out every day in a different country and they literally can make $100 from actually working hard. it's like it's like it's like and then people are talking about, oh, well, the Ghanaian government made $1.9 billion. I will show the figures to actually show you guys that the majority of the $1.9 million was just visas, visa fees. So it's like if 400,000 people are visiting a country and they're each paying like $100. That's literally like almost $500,000 on visa fees alone. So it's like, dude, then you take the average of how much someone spends in the country. Let's say $400,000. Sorry, 400,000 people spend about 400,000 people spend about $3,000 on their trip to Ghana. And that's what people are talking about as a scam. Like people spending an average of $3,000 on their stay to Ghana. And those are the revenues of everything put together. And that's what they're talking about was a scam. But let's not talk about the fact that before people came to that country, they had to, they didn't really fix the roads that much, to be fair, but they still had to fix roads. They still had to like update the airport. Like they had to use money in order to attract people to come there in the first place. So it's like, I honestly think it kind of evens out. Like when you think about it, I actually think that it actually evens out because people are talking about $1.9 billion as if it's like a billionaire that just has that money and is just balling and spending. Like, no, that is the money the government made that is not being allocated properly. I agree with you on that, but was allocated for some stuff, like for some stuff. It's like you didn't give the money to one person, like you gave the money to an entity. Anyways, and then right after that, what happened? COVID-19. Right after that, COVID-19 happened. So it's like, yeah, it's not that much of a mystery to me of what happened with the supposed $1.9 billion. That some people act like they literally took the $1.9 billion out of their bank account and gave it to like one person. Like, yeah, no, he didn't do that. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that and like the hypocrisies with all of that and how it's really not fair that people are just painting it out to seem like, oh, they came to a country and, you know, like when when I sit down and I analyze some of these videos and I actually ask people, okay, this is what happened. I agree, but how did you actually get scammed? Then it's like no one has anything to say. Like no one has like did because a lot of the people who went there did not buy land. They just went there, they went there for a couple of months and they left. So it's like if you went there to spend money on yourself and you did, then what exactly was the scam? Like what were you expecting when you went there? Like what did these people want? You know? And to be honest, as a diasporan, I know that the diasporans who went back for year of return and who are continuously going back are getting way scammed way more than anyone else. So then to me, it's like if an actual Ghanaian will also scam me, but they'll scam you less than they'll scam me, but you want me to feel bad for you, but it's like you would never feel bad for me. You would tell me if I got scammed by a Ghanaian in Ghana that I should have known better. So then, with that argument, why can't I tell you that? Why can't I feel the exact same way? Because the way that diasporans, and I mean diasporans who left the country, the way that they get scammed is much worse than anyone else. Because look at it this way, if you're a foreigner, right, and you get scammed in a foreign country, you could just get scammed and leave and have absolutely nothing to do with that country. But if you're a diasporan who left and you have family over there, you maybe have land over there, you have businesses, like you have ties to that country and you get scammed, you can't just be like, okay, well, this country doesn't matter to me anymore. These people don't matter to me anymore. No, these people are your actually family. You still have to deal with them. And you might have to actually put your feelings aside and how you really feel aside because there's no other choice. You know, you could go back to Canada, you could go back to the UK, but that's not your country either. So it's like you're caught in this place of really not knowing how to move forward. And I think that, to be honest, is a little more hurtful than someone who doesn't have family in that country and they're getting scammed by a whole bunch of strangers. To be quite honest, I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's just personally how I see the situation. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off with one video. Let me see. Okay. Let me play the let me try to play the Austin Holloman video. Okay, hey guys. So sorry for the technical difficulties. I'll be posting part two of this live. So it'll be like I'll post this live, but I'll also post part two so that everything makes sense because I was just trying to play a video and it wasn't working. But for everyone who wasn't here in the beginning, let me kind of just start with why I feel like a lot of people who are talking about, oh, Ghanaians are lying or Ghanaians are scammers. It's like, please get something else to talk about. I've noticed that a lot of people who tag on to this Ghanaians are scammers or the year of return was a scam thing, they never even been to the country. Like they didn't even go, right? So it's like, I want to know how you have so much information and you never been there before. You know what I mean? It's like I could literally go to actually not even go to Italy. Listen to a whole bunch of YouTube videos of people saying that Italy's a scam and then I hop on the bandwagon just because it's cool to do. It's like, no. To make things clear, right? Some people asked, why did Ghanaians, which Ghanaians didn't ask anyone to come, to be clear. It was the government of Ghana who asked people to come. The government of Ghana asked people to visit. The government of Ghana did not ask anybody to pack up all their bags and go there and live there. They did not ask anybody to do that. They just said in the year of 2019, we want to welcome you over here. Yes, obviously for tourism purposes, because that's why the Ghanaian visa, I think, is the most expensive visa in Africa, if I'm not mistaken. That makes sense, and that's completely fine. But then if my visa is expensive, right? And you know the price of the visa, or before you leave, you should know what the price of the visa is. How is it that when you get there, then it's like, oh my gosh, but the visa is so expensive? It's like, who travels and doesn't do their research? Like I don't, it's like for people who, it's mostly people who were from the UK and the US who went, right? Right. So it's like for people who live in a developed country and everything works and you went to so many, you have so many degrees, you went to school, like how do you not know the basics of traveling, and then you get to a different country and then you're surprised that the rules and the laws of that country are not like the country that you left. Like, yeah, you're going to a developing country, so obviously, if someone makes $2,000 a year, if they make $3,000 a year and you make 10 times that amount, like obviously there's going to be a disparity. Like obviously they're going to see you as the bag, they're going to see you as their economic way out. So it's like whenever people speak of stories of like, this is what happened and this and this is that, I'm like, how is this different from any other or most other developing nations? Like the mentality of the people, it wouldn't be that much different, you know? Like imagine a country where you supposedly get land scammed, or you do get less scammed. You do get land scammed legitimately. And you go to the court, right? But then that person has connections to, I don't know, maybe some chief, maybe some lawyer, minister of parliament, like someone who's really important, and you think that in that country, they're not going to have the ability to bribe the case in their favor. So it's like a lot of the stories that people were talking about, I'm like, are you actually surprised that this is happening? Like a country where you could literally go to court and in 10 years, there's still no verdict on who's guilty and who's not. Like, it's like when to me, I think what made me most upset about the whole Ghana's a scam, Ghana's this, Ghana's that is that I want people to tell me in which country do people think about foreigners above themselves? Like, which country in the world are there people that are not self interested? Like, what country in the world is there that I don't know of? Please let me know. What country can you go to? And, people aren't ambitious. People aren't trying to make money. People aren't trying to help their families. In a country where the unemployment rate is projected to be 30 to 40%, which I believe it's actually more, but whatever. In a country like that, what makes people think that scams are not going to happen? And then you have, again, a judicial system that doesn't really work. You have police that could be bought. You have soldiers, army men that could be bought. But then you're sitting there talking to me about how you got scammed in a land scam. Like, who buys land in a country that they don't have a passport to? You don't have definite stay, but your first thing is to buy land. But let me guess, the land that you're buying for is for yourself. You're self-interested, but then when someone else acts the same way, it's a problem. Now, I'm not saying that people deserve to be scammed, but I feel like when people are just so quick to talk about getting scammed, first and foremost, figure out what actually is a scam and then go and evaluate why you got scammed. Like, were there ways? Because when people compare, okay, I'm going to buy land in a first world country, of course you're not going to have any problems. Of course you're not going to have any problems. There are rules and laws that prevent that. But then you go to a developing country, those rules and laws are not there. You get scammed and then you get shocked. And it's like, I would think that if you were buying land in a developing country, that's somewhere where you should actually do more due diligence. You should really understand the laws, or you should pay someone to do it for you. Like, you can't go in there and act like you know what you're doing when you really don't, because they'll get you. They'll get you. I'm gonna try to see if I can play a video. If not, then I'll explain what happened in the video. But anybody who is a diaspora, meaning someone who their parents left the country or they left the country and they're living now in the West, knows this. If you're trying to do something back home, people back home do not care as much of backstabbing you because you're not living there. That's number one. Number two, they don't care as much because they automatically assume that because you're in the West, you're rich. So someone back home has the mentality of, if I take $5,000 from this person, well, that person, a lot of them think that people make $5,000 in a month, whatever. They at least know that someone makes $5,000 a year in the West, right? So they don't think twice of like trying to get it from you. Like, that's what they're gonna do. It's you're the one who has to find a way to prevent that from happening for you. And I think that's the problem, is people just don't want to hold themselves accountable in how they could have conducted themselves better or better handled themselves in a different, country. with completely different rules and laws. They never want to talk about that. They only want to talk about, this is what happened to me. This shouldn't have happened to me. And then they feel like coming online and, getting a public opinion. Like, getting a public opinion, of course people are going to say you shouldn't have got scammed. You didn't deserve to get scammed. But what is someone online going to do? If I can't do anything online about you getting scammed, and neither can neither can the government of the country, maybe they just refuse to help you, then it's like you got and that's it. You got to just let it go and move on to something else. And make sure that you don't get got the next time. That's basically it. But then when people just want to talk about, oh, like, oh, Ghanaians and people back home, and they just don't care. Of course they don't care. Who in the world cares about someone else more than themselves? Like, seriously, who does that? Let me tell you something. A lot of people back home, they know this too. Their family back home sees them as a way to get them out of poverty. So they see it as, you left your country to go to UK, you left your country to go to Germany to make money for yourself, but also for me. But really in their head, they see it as, you left the country to get money for me. That's the way that they see it. That's why you always hear these Africans say, "Oh, I gotta send money back home. I gotta," and then you ask, "Who are you sending it to?" They'll be like, "Oh, my sister, my brother, my this, my that, my aunt," and I'm just like, "Yo." That's why with me, I'm very lucky that my parents are here, because that whole sending money back home, I don't do that. And people will look at me and be like, other Africans, they'll look at me and they'll be like, why don't you send money back home? That's not part of the culture. And I'm like, who am I sending it back to? My cousins and their kids? Like, I don't have kids yet, but I have to worry about my cousins' kids. Why? What are my cousins' kids gonna do for me? Like, my parents are here. I don't need to send money back home. I don't. Occasionally, yeah, I might send something to my grandmother. That's about it. But other than that, what my mom has, like, what, 10 siblings. My dad has, what, 9 siblings. All of these people have kids, and then their kids have kids. So where does it cut off? Like, where does the giving and lending and where does that cut off? Because I'm not here to take care of other family members, to be quite honest. I'm not. Because when I struggled to get my degree, I don't remember anybody helping me. I don't remember anybody, you know, giving me anything, buying me a pencil, you know, buying me paper even. So no. And that's why, this is why I will never get got when I go to Africa. When I go to visit, you will never hear about me getting scammed, because I already do not trust anybody. But you have people who don't even have family over there, and they just see somebody in the street randomly and they trust that person, and then they'll come back months later like, oh, you won't believe what they did to me. Like, girl, please, I could have saved you a trip. But yeah, let me see if I can play the video. Hopefully this works. If not, I have an alternative. Okay. Okay, so it is loading. Let me just see something. Okay, let me see if I can play it.
Wall. So I wanted to block the back as well because I've just covered the front with the sheets, the hoarding, and the back is still open. So I had to block it. The size of the building had been, built. There's walls on there. My neighbor had a wall and the other neighbor had a wall. So I just had to build it back. The front has to be open because it's a commercial property. So I demolished this existing building to put a wall in the back. While I was demolishing this existing building, that's when I encountered my first issue, right? Like early January, I encountered my first issue. Mind you, the owners of this property have been living there for 20 years, okay? They have built a business, two businesses actually. They started with a restaurant, and then the restaurant closed down at some point, and then they started operating as car wash. My neighbor to my left, if you're facing the road, bought a land from these people as well. So it's quite bizarre for somebody to come and try to claim a land that somebody has been living on for 20 years, had a title on it, transferred it to me. Like, why? So the guy sent the local police to come and stop the work, right? I didn't know who this person was, but this is my first encounter. The local police came to stop the work, told my workers that there's an issue on this land, why they work, and blah, blah, blah. So I called the previous owners, the people that I bought the land from, to go and address this issue. At this point, I had initiated my title transfer. So they had a title already. I had to transfer the title to my name. I had initiated it. I have an indenture that shows that I bought the land, but having a title is more powerful. So I didn't want to go back and just deal with indentures. So I told them to go ahead and deal with the situation. But it was fresh. It was like a week, 2 weeks of them moving out. I'm encountering this issue. So they went to the police station, spent some time, blah, blah, blah. And according to them, the situation was sorted out. It was a family member, not like family, but that's what the guy does. I didn't know, they didn't tell me anything about his history as far as like this guy being a problem in the neighborhood. Of course, if they would have told me that, I was still going to buy the land because it's very valuable. That's why I'm still going through this. I know a lot of people are wondering, where are the people who sold the land to you? And I'm going to get to all of that. So be patient. When this happened, I went ahead and finished the demolition. The police didn't come. It was like 2-3 days work. So it didn't really matter. I built a one in the back. Nobody came there. There's a hoarding. So I guess I thought the situation was like sorted out. That January, I went to visit my wife in New York for about 3 weeks. And while I was there, I had this epiphany to, because of the situation that just happened, I wanted to build this minimal. Things were quite good in the market, and I had the money to do it myself. So the whole thing. But unfortunately, the market started going down like crazy in 2021, right? So I started losing a lot of money in the market. And me being able to build this entire structure was no longer, an option for me. So I decided to renovate a car.
Okay. So that was just like a small clip. The video was 23 minutes, so I didn't want to play the whole thing. But I played that to show that anytime someone comes in there and talks about land scam, they talk about I don't know, like just getting scammed in the market because the market seller decided to make you pay $1 extra for a product, like things like that. My point is, things like that happen much more frequent and much worse to actual Ghanaians. That guy who was playing that video is not an American. He's not from Latin America. He's not from this. He's a Ghanaian. He's a Ghanaian who went back and did this. And guess what? They got him too. They got him too. So that when people want to talk about, oh, they're only targeting us because we're from this country, like, nah, trust me, much worse things happen to actual Ghanaians who left and want to go back and actually help their family members. Much worse things happen to actual Ghanaians, you know? But are they gonna sit there and be like, oh, screw that whole country? Some of them do, a lot of them don't. Now, I've only heard of one instance of uh, a diasporan, and this time I mean, like, okay, let me just say an American who went back and got, their life ended because they essentially got murdered or whatever. I only heard of one instance of that. I'm sure there have been more instances of that, but I could tell you within the period of the last 3 years, I've heard of at least 15 Ghanaian diaspora who went back and got murdered by Ghanaians. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, to me, it's like whatever people complain about, I see it and I'm like, they will rather do much worse. A Ghanaian would rather get a Ghanaian first before they get a foreigner. Why? Because they know, they know, sorry, I know I just stuttered. I had to think. They know, a Ghanaian knows, right? If I'm getting another Ghanaian will see me as a brother or sister. They're going to be less likely to press charges. They're going to be less likely, their family could come and get involved and, smooth things over versus a foreigner. A whole foreigner, it's like you might even catch the case. You might even have, the US or the Canadian government involved. A Ghanaian doesn't want to deal with all of that. They'd rather do harm to another Ghanaian first before they do to a foreigner. So it's like, to me, sometimes when I hear these stories, it just makes me laugh because it's like a Ghanaian really is not worried about getting you as much as they're worried about getting their own country person, and that's facts. And I feel like that's in every single country, but whatever. Let people who haven't even been there talk about, how they're getting scammed, whatever. Like, seriously. And let me just, I'm gonna say this from a perspective of a Ghanaian in the West, but a Ghanaian who has family members in Ghana. A Ghanaian taking $1,000 from a Westerner, they don't feel bad because they make like $3,000 a year. So they don't really care. It's like, oh, that person can make that money. That person can make that money next month. Might not be the case, but that's their mentality. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's human nature. And there have been so many philosophers who have, talked about this, made papers about this, made presentations about this. I really don't know why people don't understand that no one out there is supposed to care about you except for you. Like, I really, I don't know. I have a feeling that all of this hype of, oh, we're going back home, they're gonna take care of us, they're gonna welcome us with open arms. It's just like, what is it, Pan-Africanism? What is it, pro-Black? I don't really know what it is, but it's a lot of delusion, and it's a lot of like, go to any country, go there, be broke, and people's true colors will come out. People, once they know that they can't take anything from you, they can't extract anything from you, then you'll actually see how they really, really feel about you. So you getting the benefit of the doubt because they think that you're rich, that's actually to your benefit, if anything, to be quite honest. But let me try to see if I can show something else to like prove the point that Africans at home do not care about the troubles that Africans in the West go through. Therefore, they're not going to care about the troubles that any Black person in the West has to go through. Therefore, if they do something bad to you, they're really not going to care because they're going to look at it as a perspective of, well, I go through much worse in this country. So you're coming from the West where you get unemployment. You don't have a job. The government gives you money. You don't make enough. The government gives you money for food. You have an opportunity to go to school and the government will pay for you. So you're coming to Africa and you think I'm supposed to care about your struggles? They don't care. You care about their struggles for whatever reason, but they don't care about yours. Let me see. Let me play this. Okay. So this video right here is of a Nigerian student who's coming to Canada, right? Or she's in Canada right now. She made a video saying that she's so lonely in the West, that she misses family back home or whatever. And just look at the response that a Ghanaian or, another African gives. Like if any African has family back home, try to speak to your family back home about mental health. Try to speak to your family back home about how you feel lonely, how you feel isolated. They're going to be like, what? You're making $10, $15, $20 an hour and you're here worried about being isolated? Meanwhile, I'm here in Africa literally making $3 an hour, if that. Get out of here. They don't care. They don't care.
I feel so alone. I feel like I live with someone I can't have a conversation with, and I'm trying to cry, and I even have to be silent about it. You just lose out on so many things. Your life, you just leave it behind. Your friends, and I'm so hurt, and my heart hurts. You have to work all the time. I have school. I'm so sad. I'm hurting so much. I don't have any friends.
She's so lonely. She has nobody on my own. Yeah. All the way from Nigeria, Abuja to Canada, and this lady, I think she's there for schooling and also work purposes. And this lady has been crying on TikTok that there's no fun. She's living with someone that she feels like she can't talk to. No friends, no nothing. Any JB or Canada. And when this video was posted on Twitter, it has 2.4 million views. And people are saying that, oh, Hima, you just have one job. You have one job to do. If you leave Nigeria to Canada and you are not enjoying it, what do you do? Sankofa, Sanwechi Brefie. If you go to Canada and you are not enjoying the life, they see opportunity come but once. We need people who want to go to Canada to go and cry. We need people who want to go to US just to cry. See, as I'm sitting here now, it is better to cry in Canada than to stay in the Dental News site and cry. It's better to cry in Canada than to stay in Medina Zongo Junction and cry. Imagine being in your own country where you are not appreciated enough. You are trying your best. You are not well paid. You are underpaid. You are used anyhow. They use you near amount and you choose near amount 2 CD. And then you go to a country where the system is working and your only problem is loneliness or loneliness. They are joining Akon Namuye remix. And yeah, join Akon and do the remix for this particular song because if you don't find comfort in Canada, leave. See, these are the kind of videos where the embassy they will see her hair. You see this person, we give her the chance. Look at what she's doing. She's crying. We have people in line who want to go. There is nothing here. Nothing they work. System be You have the chance to go there to go and school and work, and then you cry that there is no one. Call your friends back home. Call yours. Go out. There are places in Canada. Go and have fun. Surely wherever you are schooling, you have Nigerians in your school. If you go all around the world, we have Nigerians everywhere. The school you attend, you have Nigerians there. You have Africans there. Talk to them. Socialize. I'm sure this lady is an introvert way back from Nigeria. She's not even an ambivert. On to me balancing here and here at the same time. So when she gets there, she doesn't have anyone to talk to. She feels that she's lonely. But Hima, if you feel you are lonely, leave. Come back here. There are some guys that go to the States when they feel they are lonely. They come to Ghana, marry a lady, and then they take the lady there. It's your Hima. If you feel you are lonely, come here and get a Nigerian boy. Find me on social media. Ace Kanti Nankapa. Yen for Domboom. Yen Tua Basa say or Dorneo. We have people looking for opportunity. The opportunity is at your doorstep. You have climbed and I will take Canada. What are you telling me, my sister? Come near to me. Come and sit in the house. Bra Nigeria, Lagos Senior University in Brabe Kukobi. System and see, I was saying this the last time that if they should open the port, the time COVID hits Ghana, if they had opened the port so that people should go to China, where COVID started from, we will all leave. Just give Ghanaians free chance, or even Africans free chance to leave. Everyone will be running. We are not last minute, but we'll be running. As it stands now, I don't blame the lady that much. I blame our leaders. I blame the countries we are coming from. If our country be good, if Nigeria be good, infrastructure, when I was in class, JHS 1, lack of social amenities, lack of infrastructure, it is still in Flamingo. I thought they have updated that. Everything we were asking for during that time, there is still problems with that. Nothing.
You know what I mean? People got their own problem. People got their own listen, I am not saying scamming is right. Okay? I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I understand why it happens. Listen, even here in the West, people scam here. It's much harder to, and they will find you and you will go to jail. That's probably why people don't do it as much here, because you will go to jail. They will find you. They will look through your records. They will look through your phone. They'll look through your internet. They will find you. But back there, back there in Ghana, nobody's gonna waste any resources to find somebody who scammed you. So guess what? People are going to scam you. That is human nature. The human nature is I'm putting myself on, and then if I can put myself on, I'm gonna bring my family and put them on too. All these outsiders, I don't really care about you like that. It's my family. We are going to the top. When you were little, okay, especially if you're African, when you were little, did your parents not say, I want you to go to school to be a doctor? Your parents did not say, I want Ama's kid to be a doctor, or I'm paying for Ama's child to be a doctor. They want you to go to school and help them and to be the top boss. Every family wants themselves, their kids, their people to go to the top. If that means I have to prey on a foreigner, prey on a foreigner who doesn't really understand the language to get money, that is what I'm going to do. So then when foreigners now come and they say, oh, well, why did they do this to me? It has nothing to do with you, my dear. It's just, my pockets. I need to fill my stomach. I'm hungry, that's just what it is. And it's sad. One thing I will say is, due to this Pan-African thing that like a lot of people bought, I bought into it too, so I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I did too. But due to this Pan-African thing and this like we're all brothers and we're all family, that clouded a lot of people's judgment. Looking at 886 in Down Park. That clouded a lot of people's judgment on what Ghanaians are capable of. Because one thing I will say, right, I hear this from a lot of people all the time. Ghanaians are so nice, they're so sweet, they're so calm, they're so quiet. Listen, Ghanaians, a lot of Ghanaians like to speak their language. I don't know if people have noticed that, but a lot of Ghanaians like to speak their language. What do you think these people are saying? You guys think that they're so calm, they're so quiet, they're scheming. They don't want you to hear it. They don't want you to understand what they're saying. So they'll speak in their language. That's what it is. It's not that they're calm and quiet. They're not. Tell me how Ghanaians are calm and quiet, but Ghana was one of the centers of the slave trade. How are Ghanaians calm and quiet, and Ghanaians are distantly related to Jamaicans? How is that possible? It's not possible, so don't be fooled. I do feel bad though, for people who legitimately did get scammed, but it's like, to me, it's like, it's complicated because it's like, man, I don't even know what to say. Who should be held accountable for that? I feel like talking about who should be held accountable is very impossible in a country where there is no accountability, period. In a country that, look, fast forward 4 years later, after Year of Return, Ghana has been declared. I don't know why I'm laughing. I really shouldn't laugh. Ghana was declared bankrupt, right? So it's like, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I know why. It's just government being stupid and stealing from their own people. So it's like, in a country like that where people could literally, maybe I'll play a video where Ghana begged the international community for funds during COVID-19, right? They begged the international community for money. And then years later, the Minister of Finance was looking at the reports of where that money was allocated, and they couldn't find it. They saw some of the money going into some ministers' accounts. And I'm like, in a country where the government does that to their own people and the people are frustrated, I would not be surprised if the people did the same thing to you. Like, I just would not be surprised, So it's like, when a lot of people were crying, like, oh, I thought they were my brothers, they care about me. No, they really don't. I mean, they don't even care about their own brothers. So they're definitely not going to care about you. But let me see here. I wanted to play I wanted to play something else. Okay. There was, before I do that though, before I play the other video, let me, because there was a question here of why did Ghanaians not, like, why did Ghanaians only invite Americans? Ghanaians invited everybody. Year of Return was not only for Americans. Year of Return was for Ghanaian diaspora in the US, in the UK, in Switzerland, everywhere. Year of Return, it was I'll be honest, there were elements of them like trying to reach out to the American diaspora, but it wasn't just them who came back. Like there was another campaign where Nana Akufo-Addo specifically asked Ghanaian diasporas to come back to the country. And later on, after this video plays a little bit, I'll explain why that campaign wasn't as successful and why he then decided to kind of focus on the Americans, because this campaign was not successful. And this was the exact same time.
Fellow Ghanaians, we have dubbed this year the Year of Return to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the arrival of the first 200 West African slaves in the Commonwealth of Virginia, which subsequently became part of the United States of America. We intend to use the symbolism of this Year of Return to bring together Africans, persons of African descent, and all well-wishers and lovers of freedom to strengthen the commitment to ensuring that blots on our history, such as the transatlantic slave trade and slavery, never reoccur. It means that we're expecting many, many visitors to our shores this year, and we must all, collectively and severally, be on our best behavior and make them feel welcome. Several diasporas of African descent who have lived with us for so many years will, as part of the Year of Return, receive their long-awaited Ghanaian citizenship.
The relationship with the African diaspora of the New World. He was speaking at a joint media conference with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley after the two leaders held talks today on strengthening ties between the two countries. Karen Philip has more.
To be the guest of his Prime Minister.
President Akufo-Addo said Ghanaians have always seen themselves as owing a special responsibility to Africans in the diaspora. He recalled Ghana's first leader, Kwame Nkrumah, had close ties with several Trinidad and Tobago nationals who assisted with the development and planning in the early independence period in Ghana.
I refer here to the Marxist historian, C.L.R. James, to the journalist George Padmore, who was one of Kwame Nkrumah's closest aides and who has a library named after him in Accra, and to the eminent economist Sir William Arthur Lewis.
The Ghanaian president described himself as somewhat of a Trinidadian, with lots of nostalgic memories, as someone who in the 1980s made a habit of visiting Trinidad and Tobago every year for Carnival.
The first thing that comes to mind in the mention of Trinidad and Tobago is Calypso. Let me therefore pay homage to some of the great Caribbeans who've kept us entertained: Lord Kitchener, Lord Biggener, Sparrow, Calypso Rose, and the others.
The Venezuelan issue and the renewal of the Africa, Pacific, and Caribbean Group of States Agreement were among the topics touched on during the bilateral discussions. Prime Minister Rowley said Ghana's leading role in West Africa would do well to assist in ensuring diplomatic initiatives are maintained to resolve the crisis in Venezuela. While Ghana's voice could also lobby all concerned that the Caribbean is better protected as part of the ACP.
And there are moves afoot in some quarters to break up the African Caribbean Pacific group as a bloc, so that our negotiating power would be diminished. It would be extremely detrimental to the Caribbean to find itself in the world environment negotiating as a small bloc.
Discussions between the two leaders also centered around cooperation in the areas of energy, health, finance, education, tourism, and culture. Karen Kozia-Philip, TTT. And prior to his meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, the President of Ghana paid tribute to members of the Commonwealth Armed Forces who died in the line of duty in World Wars I and II. At the wreath-laying ceremony held at the Memorial Park in Port of Spain, Minister of National Security and Communications Stuart Young and the Ghanaian President were greeted by students from Holy Name Convent. The wreath-laying is traditionally done on Remembrance Day. However, it is also done by all visiting heads of state. Following the ceremony, the Ghanaian head of state paid a courtesy call on President Bonami Weeks at the President's cottage. There, President Akufo-Addo signed the visitor's book and presented President Weeks with a gift.
He also, sorry, he also went to Barbados. Ghana and Barbados have a really nice relationship. For people asking why he didn't go to Latin America, money is one thing, definitely, but also, you know, there's a language barrier. You know, there's now. I'm not talking about going over there and making the announcement. You could get an interpreter to do that. I mean, actually going to, getting Latin Americans who, for the most part, if you've ever seen one, they don't really identify with their African roots, which is cool. That's fine. That on top of the fact that when they come back and visit the country, who is going to speak to them in Spanish? Like the majority of Ghanaians, they don't even like speaking English. They can, but they don't want to. And now you're bringing Spanish speakers for a year of return. Like, how is that? That doesn't work. So obviously it was easier to just cater to diasporans and Americans, and that's what they did, and it worked. I mean, like I don't really see any malice in that, to be honest. I thought it was kind of obvious. Now, one second. In case people didn't know, there were a group of diaspora. There were a group of diasporans who actually went back from Brazil. A lot of Brazilians, identify with their African roots or whatever. So they went back to various African countries. In fact, I have a friend who's a third generation Ghanaian and Brazilian mix. His family has been there for years, so many years. So it's like that is common, where the ones who actually want to go back do go back, and they don't need a year of return to decide to go back. Like this was information that was passed down to them from generation to generation, and they spent their own money, paid their own fares or whatever to go back. So at the time there was about an estimated 3,000 to 8,000 that decided to go back to Africa, slaves that decided to go back to Africa. And yeah, like they have their own tribe in Ghana, like the descendants of the Brazilians who decided to go back. So yeah, stuff like that already happened. Yeah. But in terms of other Latin Americans or whatever, money's not there. they're not really thinking of going back to Africa, so whatever. The last thing that I wanted to bring up, was Austin Holloman. Yes, I saw it when Austin Holloman, the passport bros, went back to Africa, and everyone was so happy. And then he decided to make a video that made me very disappointed because he was like, Ghana was oversold to Black Americans. And I'm like, who sold Ghana to Black Americans other than the president for tourism purposes? Like, and even with the whole year of return thing, I keep talking about it because I keep hearing about it, and it's 4 years later, but I still keep hearing about it. The year of return was go to Ghana to visit. It wasn't go to Ghana because Ghanaians are your best friends. It wasn't go to Ghana because, it wasn't advertised as that at all. It was literally just go to visit, have an African experience, and use Ghana to go to other African countries. That was literally it. So I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why all of a sudden 4 years later. I think, I really do think the pandemic had something to do with it. I really do think the pandemic had people, really lost and wanting more to life, more to something. So it's like everything just got magnified. I think everything just got magnified because I'm just like, I don't know what Ghanaians did to these people that every day they gotta be like, oh, Accra's so expensive. I'm like, yeah, so is London. Every single capital city that I know of in the world is expensive. Like this whole misconception that because you're going to an African countries are dirt poor, dirt cheap. You could do like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And things are changing. I really do think that some people have this misconception that Africa is like the same Africa of like 2,000 years ago. And like my cousins in Ghana have washing machines. I know that's not really common, but they have a microwave, like they have a stove. Like these people, like these people are, I get it, it's not everybody who could afford that, but it's like to see it over there is becoming more and more common. So it's like I don't know where people get this misconception that Africa is so cheap, like you could become a king with $2,000 in Africa. No, this is especially in Accra. Like you're literally going to the capital and you're talking about how it's expensive. Oh my goodness. I am seriously, I can't, this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like as if there aren't Africans back home who make their own money. you know? And yes, I will say this. Yes, if an apartment in Accra is, $3,000, yes, that's expensive. But guess what? They can sell that apartment to anybody. They can sell that apartment to anybody from any country in the world. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. I I don't know. I guess people were just mad that they didn't have enough money. Um, they wanted the you're my brother treatments, and they didn't get that. So then that just means that the people are bad. I don't know. I don't know what they were disappointed in. Because like I said, and I will play one more video to show you what actual Ghanaians will literally murder somebody from a different tribe because they're from a different tribe, but they're all from the same country. So it's like coming from a different country is like it even gives you protection because they at least know, okay, you're from the West. We can't go all the way with you. But with another Ghanaian, they're like, oh, we don't care about this person. We could just throw them in the ditch somewhere. Like some people are really evil. Like they're really, really evil. And I also like to point out that a lot of the people who advertise Ghana to other people were not Ghanaians. Like, I'm not sure why that's never talked about. Like, Ghanaians were not the ones that were like, "Oh, come over here, do this." That wasn't Ghanaians. That wasn't Ghanaians who did that. That was a lot of actual people in the West who did that. A lot who have never even been to Ghana were like, go to Ghana, go to Ghana. Or we have to go to Ghana because Dr. Kwame Nkrumah or because of Marcus Garvey. That's who did a lot of the talking. It wasn't Ghanaians that were like, come over here. Like when Year of Return happened, Ghanaians didn't even know that it was happening. Like like no one had no idea. Yeah.
That's why I said it's not as bad, because in the West you would see that, and then you'd have to check her. I didn't have to check her, but it was just very reminding. What do you feel about my experience or what I said about it?
I concur with you fully. I haven't been to Ghana in a few years, many years actually. I've been to Nigeria most recently, and it's if you look at Africa, you know, Ghana and Senegal and Nigeria and Ivory Coast, they're closer to the States and they got direct flights. So there's direct United flights to Lagos and there's direct flights to Accra, and there's a large Ghanaian, Nigerian population in the States. And Ghana has done a fantastic job of marketing the return of Black Americans. Come over here, we'll give you your visa to stay. They want it's economics. You know, we have our dollar goes farther there. And so I'm still in touch with my best friend I grew up with in Ghana, in Accra. We speak pretty much every day online. And it's the same thing. He was married 20 frats years, has 3 grown daughters. He said, and he got divorced, bad divorce. He says, I'm never doing it again. So the modern mindset, the entitlement modern Western mindset is infecting that area. You get farther and farther away from the US, farther and farther away from Europe. It's an inverse relationship.
Okay, I would agree about that. Now, another thing about Ghana, would you say that Ghana was oversold to America?
Yes,
because
completely.
When I got there, and they're like, the return, you know, what is it? The Year of Return.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to feel people tell me you're gonna like the West more than the East, and I'm gonna let you know right now, Nairobi has the standard is so high. Everywhere else I've been after that, Senegal was right here, but Nairobi was just it's everything for me when it comes to Africa.
I want to come to Mombasa.
Yeah.
I'm dying to go to Mombasa.
I like Nairobi better than Mombasa.
Really?
I think Mombasa has its own usage, but
yeah, I like the ocean, Nairobi. So I'm wondering, you know, the beach thing. But I mean, I got to think back. It started, I mean, many years ago. Well, let's look historically. with Ghana, there was a famous black actor in the 20s and 30s by the name of Paul Robeson. Paul Robeson played, did many plays in Shakespeare. He played in Othello and Emperor Jones, very famous movies, and he was ostracized. He got branded as a communist in the States. So he had to leave. And where did he go? He went to Ghana. Stevie Wonder, years and years ago, where did he go? He's been a resident of Ghana for a long time. You see, it's easy to get to, and they are very friendly to the United States because so many Ghanaians live. Now, here's the thing. You've been in different countries in Africa. Tribalism is still a big thing.
I've noticed that.
So you have your Ashanti, you have your Twi, you have your Fanti, and I know them in the States, and professionals, women who have different groups. She's a Twi, she won't go because it's all Fanti women. Okay? Right. Because those old bloodlines, I don't want to say blood fused, but the tribalism is still rife, and they'll stay in their little zones there. It's not so much in South Africa though, because they have the common enemy and apartheid. So, but and that's the thing with Ghana, that it's like they say with Mexicans would always say, it's like they're so far from God and so close to the United States. That was a problem that they had, that the Yankee was always there. I've seen articles where, talk about, you get off the topic a little bit, where so many retirees move into certain cities.
Okay, so that video, the title was Ghana was oversold to Black Americans, and basically in the video, there's nothing that, it didn't explain anything. So my consensus is just that he didn't like Ghana because he wasn't able to get, or I guess he didn't like Ghanaian women. So that just threw him off of the whole country, because it's like over there in the end, they were like talking about tribalism. And I'm like, the tribalism that you guys are talking about is pretty mild as compared to other countries, I would say. And the tribalism in Ghana doesn't stop somebody who's not from a tribe from getting anything. Like tribalism would like deter you if you're from an actual tribe. So if you're not from a tribe, then what does the tribalism argument have to do with you? It's like, I don't get it. So anyways, it's like that. It's like just not making any sense. And then when he was like, oh, Ghana's Western, I'm like, that to me, I think that is definitely a stretch to say that Ghana is Western. Like, Western how? You mean it's speaking or what? Because it's not Western in infrastructure. So it's like, what do you mean by Western? Like Western mentality. I don't even know what that means, but I just feel like he didn't like the country, which is completely fine. Like, you don't have to like it, but it's like, if there's no actual reason as to why you don't like the country, then it's like, then you're kind of just making things up. But last thing to say is basically like, no, I basically discard it all, but it's just this whole thing of like, Ghanaians are out to get people, and it's like, no, a Ghanaian would rather do bad to a Ghanaian before they do bad to anyone else. So it's like that argument of like, oh, they're here to do this, they're here to do that. It's like, it's just null. It's false. So let me see if I could find, like, if I go to Ghana, I'm more at risk than someone who's not Ghanaian, because they actually know that I'll feel pity for them. Like, I'll feel sympathy for them. So it'll make them want to take advantage of me more than of a foreigner. Like, for instance, I know people have heard of stories of diasporas who are building homes back in their home country, and then they find out that their family has been stealing money for them for years and years and years. But that's your family. So why would you expect your family to steal from you? It's because they're your family. So they know that you're not going to do anything about it. You're not going to press charges. You're not going to waste your time and money to go to court. And, you know, God forbid, if you don't have money, they have more money, they could like bribe. Like, they know you're not going to get caught up with all of that. So they'd rather just do it to you. Okay. So this is what happened recently to a Ghanaian diaspora who went back to Ghana. And this happens all the time, by the way, but you know, people just don't know, I guess. But this happens all the time to Ghanaian diaspora, to make it clear, not to foreigners. But this guy, the interesting part about this case is he's a Ghanaian and a foreigner, which is why I believe the accomplices got arrested, because, you know, he has the Canadian backing. But if he didn't have the Canadian backing, the accomplices wouldn't get arrested. But let me see.
First story: the family of a Canada-based Ghanaian businessman who was found dead in his girlfriend's apartment in Ashale-Boche in the Greater Accra region says the prime suspect may have worked with other persons to kill their relative. And at the event to mark 1 week of his passing, relatives of the deceased said they would assist the police in finding other accomplices whom they believe are on the run. Lois Asari has more.
Family and friends of the late Frank Osei Kofi gathered on mile 7 in Accra near one of his car garages to mark 1 week of his passing. At just 38, Frank has established for himself a very lucrative business of vehicle dealership both in his native Ghana and Canada. The prosecution, led by Chief Inspector Jacob Nyako, told the Adenta District Court the girlfriend, 23-year-old level 100 student of the University of Ghana, Safina Mohammed Adizatu, who is also beginning a music career, called police to alert them about the death of a man who had spent the night with her. But officers deployed to the scene suspected foul play and immediately launched a murder investigation. He told the court police established that Safina and other accomplices stabbed the deceased multiple times until he died. His cousin Philip Osei Kwame says all those involved in that dastardly act must be brought to justice.
As of now, it's in the authorities' hands. We're also pleading with them to try and help us to find closure for our brother. So far, we've gone to, when they went to the first court, I wasn't here, but I went yesterday and they've adjourned the case to the 26th in 2 weeks' time. But as we stand here, we're also taking private measures to make sure that everything that we're hearing from the authorities corresponds with what we're getting from our private. You understand what I'm saying? So if anybody has any information which they think it can help, they can contact us. Yeah, so we're pleading with everybody because this can happen to anybody. It's happened to me today, but maybe tomorrow it'll be somebody else. The reason why we have justice for Frank is, we're all fighting for what's right. We're all fighting to make sure that this doesn't happen. You know, there's a lot of people that since I've been down here, they're telling us, oh, don't trust in the justice system. But I strongly believe they'll give us justice. So we're here to fight for the justice for our brother.
He has appealed to the public to help with any information that will help track the other accomplices who are on the run.
Currently, we're very, very, very devastated. Very, very devastated. It's not easy. Like, when we talk and his name comes up, it just brings tears to our eyes. Because this is very unfortunate. We didn't think something like this could happen. So it's very, very hard on us. The only thing we can do right now is to find justice for him. And everybody involved will try to make sure that we get them. Doesn't matter who the person is. If he's big, small, whatever, we'll make sure we get justice for our brother.
Manhunt is currently underway for the other suspects. Lois Asari, Joy News.
Okay, so clearly they haven't found the other accomplices because, to be honest, like I'll just be honest here. I'll just be honest here. It is really easy to get away with stuff like this in Ghana. It is because it's like, okay, the only reason why they found the girl is because the girl called the cops. So now if the girl doesn't want to say who helped her, those people by this time they're probably in like Togo. They're probably the completely different which is not funny, but they're probably like the border control. It's so easy. It's so easy to pass borders in these countries. It's so simple. Like you really could just pay the border police and be like, "Hey, I need," like, they don't check stuff. Like, so, anyways, I said all of that to say this, right? I said all of that to say this. People here talking about they got scammed $2,000, $3,000. It's like, I get it. That's not good. But then if you look at the GDP of the country, that is like $3,000. I can understand why somebody would want to get their annual income from you. Like, I could completely understand why somebody would want to do that. It's just too simple. Like, this whole my brother thing. Some people just say that because they're just trying to get money from you, but they really don't see you as a brother. And it's not to say that everybody is like that, but I don't know. For me, I just think that human beings are all out for themselves. So it's like there's no point of trusting anybody. That's the way that I think. Like I don't see people smiling and laughing at me as they actually care about me. Absolutely not. I feel like if a lot of these Western countries were like some African countries, you would see a completely different, like, people here don't do crime not because they're good. They don't do crime because the laws are so strict. DNA has advanced to like amazing levels. it's really hard to get away with murder over here, which is why you don't see as many people committing murder over here. It is not because people are good. Take away all the rules, laws, religion, surveillance, CCTV cameras. What's happening over there would happen over here as well. Like the way people just buy land and they don't do any due diligence and then they get shocked when they got caught. The exact same thing would happen here if the system allowed it to, is just what I think. But yeah, I think I'm done with what I wanted to say. Wow, it's almost been 2 hours. Whoa, did not mean to take that long. But I guess I'll go ahead and oh, okay. So I'll go ahead and drop the link if anybody wants to come on and has anything to say. And if not, then we will close the stream. But yeah, I guess I should just go up and see what some of you guys have been saying. Let me see. Yeah. Who is this? Since Ghana, wait. Since Ghana, I think I know who this is. Since Ghana have open new citizenships, we be having a lot of agents going to Africa and making videos trying to discourage people to visit or move there. I don't know. I don't know about videos. I think that people should just base things off their own experiences. I don't think the videos matter as much as people think, you know? Because if that was the case, if I was to base my opinions of, let's say, a country like Gambia out of the videos I've seen online, I would think it's a really scary place to go to. But, those are just, I feel like some people, when they travel, they don't use common sense. And then, you know, unfortunate things happen to them. I really do think a lot of the things that people experience when they go to different countries is their fault. Like they should have taken better precautions. They should have done more research. Like when I see videos of these guys going to Colombia, and people are robbing them in Colombia, I'm like no offense, but there's no way I'm getting robbed, because I know how people are. I know people's mentality. I know how desperate people could get. I'm not gonna get robbed. I know better. Now, will would I be someone that, you know, now, okay, would I be someone, when I say robbed, I mean like I won't get mugged. Like I won't get robbed on the street. Would I get robbed at home? Maybe. But I don't know. I just feel like if you are somebody who's a foreigner, right? You're someone who has let's say, more money, or you appear to have more money than the local people of wherever you're going to, you just have to move smart and understand that they don't see you as one of them. You know, regardless of skin color, regardless of all of that, they do not view you as them, because they understand that you did not come from the same struggle, or you're not currently experiencing the same struggle that they are. So I just feel like a lot of these things that people are talking about, they're going to different country, they're getting scammed, they're getting robbed. It's like you should just have basic like due diligence, and and that is the inexperience of people not traveling. Like, people travel for the first time and they take all these risks, and it's like, you should know better. I'm sorry, like, I don't know, I don't know, you know, like, people keep talking about, for instance, they talk about, oh, don't go to Nigeria, this will happen to you, that will happen to you. I'm like, no, you just have to know where you are. You have to know, you just have, and you can't be, as a foreigner, you cannot go somewhere and just tell everybody your business. You cannot go to people you don't know and tell them you come from this country. Let me tell you something, guys. Usually when I visit a country, I don't tell people that I'm a foreigner. What I'll say is, oh, I'm married to somebody from here, or I have a family member to somebody from here, or like, I always make up a false story to make people think that I've always been there. Like, I don't tell people things, because the minute you tell your, let's say, your Uber driver, your Bolt driver, that you're not from here, and then you get shocked when this person comes to your house later with their friends and they come and rob from you. Like, why are you telling your taxi driver that you're not from there, you're a visitor to the country? Like, people don't have basic traveling skills, and then bad things happen to them, and then they want to come online and say, I hate these people, I hate this country. No, 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 no. And I feel like maybe some people just need to, they need to know traveling tips 101, what and what not to do. But I have, okay, I have Kidola here, so I'm gonna add him to the stream.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
No problem. How are you?
Good, 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 good. What's going on? Long time.
Yeah, I know.
the topic, the topic of today is, you see, we other Africans somehow blame Ghana president for inviting people that doesn't have emotions towards Africa. You know what I mean? Let me say, not even Africa, to a place called Ghana, another place. That return, year of return, let me just be honest to you, was a hoax whereby they started insulting Africans heavily. Through that loopholes, those that hate Africans started seeing way to hate Africans. Even those that are even doing tourism to Africa don't really like Africans. I'll just be honest to you. They all just do it for money, and that's what they love. They're not builders. These people are not builders. They never build nothing. You know, they don't have how to turn a village to be a city. They have never done it. You know, it was always been done for them by their white masters, but not they themselves doing it. That's why they always like to run to where it's already been developed. Then they start doing comparison. What have they built themselves? Africa built their own things. Every street you see in Ghana, in Nigeria, was a bush, but become a township or a city. East Lagoon was never East Lagoon like that before, but was being built by Africans. Nobody.
Kidola.
Hold on, let me speak. Let me speak. Let me
You know,
speak.
with
Let me
those
speak.
with those
Let me
slave
calm down.
with
Let me
those slave forts that bring in millions of dollars built by Africans.
no slaves. No, let me just be honest. Let me just be honest. You put there's that guy called what's his name again? That so-called passport bro of a guy. He says 20 or 24. What have he look?
Or he's only giving his personal opinion.
Hold on, let me speak.
You
That
know,
guy,
if he thinks the country's like shit, he's telling the truth. What do you want him to lie on you?
I want to see a city. I want to see a city that be built by Black Americans. They own that city.
Okay, Monrovia.
Forget that Monrovia. What kind of Monrovia?
We built Monrovia. We built Liberia. We built Monrovia. While you guys were in the bush, we built Monrovia.
You came to
What are you
Africa.
talking about? We built Monrovia ourselves. Every street, every building, every temple, everything in that country city. We built that country. No. Indigenous people were living in huts with spears and whatnot. We built the republic.
Are you put that built Ghana? Are you put that built Ghana?
No, we didn't say we built Ghana and whatnot. The white man built Ghana.
You built Accra.
Do you understand? Jamestown was Accra. Accra was Jamestown. It was a European settlement. Same thing with friggin' Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos was nothing but a slave trading port by Portuguese and whatnot. You know, what the hell did you build? You know, what you build?
This year of return, this was like a way for those that hate.
Yeah, acting all salty, man. You know, Kidola act all salty.
You let me land. I will give you the floor. You can say your own thing. You just let me land. You know, I will give you the floor.
Well, you're sitting there flying on top of the handle.
You see.
What I'm saying is like,
let me land.
Hold on, Kidola. Let me ask you a question.
You ask him to stop first. You let me land. I'm still speaking. You just
okay. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna give you 1 minute, man.
No, you don't need to give me 1 minute.
You keep rambling, man. You keep rambling. You're not landing.
Let the host, the owner of the channel to can stop now. I will stop. You understand? Let me land.
No, she's too nice to tell you to shut the hell up, man. That's what it is.
This is the reason we said look. The guy, that so-called passport bro of a guy, you know, he came to Africa.
This guy travels the world, man.
Forget that. Let me land, man. You know, I could give you the floor.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, I'm not going to cut you off. What you see is, if you expect people that I understand they say left 600 years ago or 500 years ago to have emotions to a place that they never knows nothing about, I think Kofi Adu or whatever, he just disturbing. He was just one disturbing himself. I think when he sit in that sitting room, he will watch YouTube. He will understand at his age of almost going towards 80 that wow, maybe I made a mistake. You understand? So wow, I made that big mistake because a lot of things have been happening. A lot of things have been happening. YouTube.
Are you finished?
What about these people who came? Some of them came as spies. Some of them came as people ready to rubbish Africans. And I think that guy called the passport bro of a guy should go and find his own way somewhere else and rock that place. I don't think he have anything to offer.
Are you finished, bro?
He's always just trying to do fine, boy. But
I'm trying not to talk over anybody myself, but this is tiresome. Please finish, sir.
You shut up, Kiddo, for a second.
Shut up,
Let somebody else talk, man. You know?
Shit.
Yeah, you're running your mouth, man. You normally respect me, man.
Are you put that build Banana Island? Are you put that build Accra? Are you put that build Kumasi?
Hey, nobody said that. Nobody said that. You know.
You put Toronto where you
nobody said that. You're mad because you're mad because
now.
See, like I said, mute this.
Black America build the United States.
Can you mute this ooga booga? 1 second, you know.
Go to Accra. It's being built by mute this
ooga booga.
You build no shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but most of the real estate in Accra, let's be honest with ourselves, are built by foreigners, right? Most hotels are built by foreigners. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Foreigners.
You know, the Italians, Lebanese,
Everybody
else serious, everybody else and
How
whatnot.
many Lebanese
The
is in Ghana?
Africans are underclass in their own
How
country.
many Lebanese is in Ghana?
You know?
How many Lebanese is in Ghana to build a whole big Accra? How many Lebanese? Check yourself. How many Lebanese?
Bottom line, you really believe any of those nice buildings and hotels you see there are owned by
How many
Ghanaians?
Lebanese? Don't you see the marshals?
No.
Don't you see the marshals? Don't you see the marshals everywhere? Don't you see the
You're
marshals
tell me the ShopRite,
don't
the
you see the marshals
ShopRite,
in there?
the
Don't you see the
mall,
marshals
the mall of Accra,
the
the
other
mall
place?
of Accra are built by foreigners and everything like that. It's not built by maintained by Ghanaians. They just
People
work
came as
there.
a sky and start hating.
You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line, just mute yourself and be quiet for a second. You can learn something. You know. First of all, you're angry. You're angry at a young guy, Osman Muhammad, 24 years old. He got full of testosterone. He's traveling the world, always interested in girls, party, and everything like that. You know, he was invited to Africa, but I think his first country was
Nobody invited him.
Kenya.
He
You
invited
know.
himself.
Can I say something real quick on the Austin Hollerman thing? It's kind of really crazy that he has all this smoke for this young black man. Okay, and nobody's saying he's perfect and he hasn't said
He's a
something
kid.
stupid. Oh, hold on, let me finish. Nobody said Austin hasn't done anything or said anything stupid. Okay, I can tell you right now, when I was his age, I was like a squad leader in the army. If I cannot tell you how I would have reacted if I had have been his age, like at 21, 22, 23, getting hundreds of thousands of dollars a year into travel. I don't think I could have handled it and have discipline like this young man has. I'm like I said, he's had missteps, but it just really boggles my mind that the man has committed no crimes. He hasn't
Right.
hurt anybody, and he has not really done anything crazy out of ordinary any other man his age has done. But people
And the
all
bottom
around got
line,
smoke for
I
the guy.
rifleman, check this out. He's a young, very
Is Woody Maya assaulting black Americans?
You cut out, Khaled. Please say that again.
Is Woody Maya assaulting black Americans? Is Woody Maya say black Americans are beggar in his own channels? You want to pick what you want to pick, and you want
Okay,
to
sir.
oh, you said this.
Sir,
Is
you're
Woody
just
Maya
ranting.
is Woody Maya begging? Is Woody Maya assaulting black Americans? Oh, black American women are beggars.
What are you talking? Okay, I'm sorry.
If he earn 100,000 in a year, he have to control his own mouth. He have to be disciplined.
Okay, what are you trying to say?
No, you say he earned 100,000 a year and is very disciplined. I said no, he have to check his mouth. Nobody invited him to Ghana. He went to Ghana himself. Nobody asked him to come to Ghana. He just shopping around, analyzing things because
the man travels the world. He goes to Asia. He goes to America. He goes to Africa. I don't really understand.
He can go to anywhere he want to go to. If you come to a place as a guest that you live in, that those who treated you well, why must you come to say, oh, this is my view, the women are beggars, this? Who are you?
If he goes there, and hold on. If he goes to a place and he gets an impression and sees something and relays it to the world, that's his opinion. That's his experience. It doesn't have to be right, but that's him. What's the big deal?
Nobody invited him to Ghana. Nobody asked him to come and be giving.
Okay, you didn't answer my question.
Nobody asked him to be giving a report to where that nobody invited. Said, "Oh, is Ghana oversold to Black Americans?" Nobody sold Ghana to Black Americans.
Okay,
nobody.
listen. Hold on. I was going to get on that. Okay, can you stop talking for a minute? And I wanted to get.
The Ghanaians don't build the Ghana.
Can I talk about the year return? Because I did have something to say to African Millennial and ask her a question as well, and not just let you dominate the conversation, sir. Okay, so my thing is the year return. I'll even with the people that have the grievance say, okay, maybe they did oversell it to Black America a little bit. You have to be smart enough and not emotional and do your due diligence. Okay. The Ghanaians weren't hiding anything from anybody. They weren't lying to anybody. So if some Black American got over emotional and didn't do their due diligence like you do anywhere else on the planet, and they got scammed or something didn't go the way they thought it should have gone, that's their fault and responsibility, no one else's. Okay, it was true 4 years ago, and that's true today. You go anywhere and you vet. on your own, and that's it. So I'm tired of folks talk about scamming, scammer. You are an adult and you are responsible for yourself. That's it. Okay. If you get scammed, say I didn't do the best betting or whatever. I lived and I learned, and move on, and don't care what anybody else say. So that's all what I got to say about that one. But go ahead, kiddo. You got anything else to add?
Not really, man. I'm done.
What?
I said, not really. Somebody can go on.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, all I'm saying, and Africa AM, are you there? Did she bounce?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I did have a question. Why are you still going hard on Pan-Africanism? Okay, like I understand, like people over romanticize Pan-Africanism, and they have a certain mindset that's not reality, and in certain, like maybe an outcome didn't happen like they liked or something. But I just kind of like, you say it's like Pan-Africanism's fault or something like that. Like that's just kind of weird to me. Can you elaborate or?
Yeah,
Huh?
Pan-Africanism ideology paints that everyone are brothers and everyone are the same. So if you go to a different country, which is a black country, they're going to, because you're black, they're not going to, they'll feel, you'll be less likely to be treated bad because they'll see you as like a kinfolk, or they'll see you as their brother. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's not really Pan-Africanism, though.
So what?
Real Pan-Africanism is more akin to like an economic system more than it is a race-based system. It's on what you can provide. It's goods and services and tangible things. It's not my brother, we look the same, so therefore I rock with you. It's kind of more, you have to have more of the software as well as the hardware, if you get what I'm saying. So so people kind of have and also too, there's another way of thought when it comes to Pan-Africanism, where there's the socialists that took over, I would say, the intellectual space of Pan-Africanism. So
Exactly.
people are under the impression it's a socialist thing, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. That's not Pan-Africanism. So I think people have these less than tangible and pie in the sky race-based identity attachments to Pan-Africanism, and not actual systems that work for Black. That's actual Pan is working together. You know what I'm saying? Not you look like me, therefore we work together or something like that. So people unfortunately just don't do any reading when it comes to Pan-Africanism, or at least if you don't do any reading, at least go and listen to the different Pan-Africans on like YouTube alone. Like besides Brandon, there's other guys on YouTube that I listen to, and a whole bunch of them are socialists. So they really believe that if we just live in a commune somewhere, that's how Black power is going to be built, and that's like the farthest thing from the truth. So there's a lot of schools of thought, but the one I've found that actually to me is real Pan-Africanism is a economic system more than it is a whatever system. So
My ideology of Pan-Africanism is based on Black African infrastructure. You know, the Black race does not have global infrastructure, right? We do nothing ourselves, right? You look at people pride themselves on Aliko Dangote, but almost all his stuff is done offshores. If Aliko Dangote's or Dangote Group was vertically integrated into West Africa, he'd be creating millionaires and billionaires every day. But everything, the logistics of the Dangote Group and most African groups and whatnot are done offshore through remote and everything, and so there's nothing built. There's no supply chains. There's nothing. So without that infrastructure, without Africans being empowered to supply things, to manufacture things, to build things, to store things, and we have the Black people. The Black race has no global responsibility other than keeping their populations down. You know, think about that. The only thing the world gives Africa, they keep your populace under containment. We don't produce any semiconductors, no microchips. We don't produce any ballistics weapons, no spacecraft craft. We don't produce anything for that the world needs. And then when we say, well, don't we produce bauxite and everything? No, those are Europeans who have their own companies in Africa who extract it and they give us a pittance for it. So with the right now, like I said, we talk about Pan Africa. It's like if we African Americans have a certain mind, how we think we can do this. Don't shun us out. Don't get mad at a 24-year-old named Austin Holloman who's having a good time. And I think he did a good job showcasing the beauty of Africa. When I saw him with that Rwandan girl, I thought that was just so beautiful. African American young man with a Rwandan chick. Something out of a new Hollywood movie. And I'm saying like that, he's going around the world, and who knows? When he turns 30, he might mature one day, and he might get a high place job in Africa and really do his thing because he definitely has leadership quality. So why besmirch a young man who's having a good time right now? He's like a Camelot, like a prince, and so the women Africa love him.
Also, one thing, two things. The Austin Holloman thing, real quick. It's just like he's a healthy, upstanding man that's not sagging his pants. He
Right.
has a healthy attitude on how he treats different people, not just black people, other black people, but he treats other people with respect. He doesn't go around. I think in his early days, he probably said questionable things about girls and like Asia and stuff like that. But all in all, he goes out on dates with women. He just shows everything. A lot of these other influencers and all these Instagram hoodlums that we see, how they mistreat their own women, black women in particular, usually nobody has smoke for those young men, but they have smoke for this guy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he's more of a better example for any young black man globally than most of what Black America has to offer by far. So that's
Yeah,
why another
I
thing that
have
bothers me.
not
Oh yeah,
ashamed of him one bit.
hold on. Last thing, Kyle, sorry, and I'll let you rock. And the last thing about the infrastructure thing, about the black infrastructure, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Okay, there's other races and other governments around the world that have shown a pathway to sustainability and infrastructure. A small plastics factory, a small food processing plant, a small something that you manufacture, just something small that you can
Textile.
export to China, export to Europe for an electronics thing, like something small, and then you get synergy from that. That's all we're talking about.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be. But the whole thing is that, like, has another thing I'm gonna say that's gonna shock a lot of people, and people are gonna want to burn my Pan African card. I'm sick of people talking about how bad. For now the whole thing, all the African leads that failed us, right? They're using France as a scapegoat. You know, France is the problem. No, Dr. Arikana, you're the problem. You know, every African person that signs agreements to go study in the West, go live in the West, and everything, who take kickbacks and bribes and everything to allow European firms. There was a French guy who got arrested, I think by France itself, right? He come to find out that between Benin, Senegal, and everything, he had a logistics firm, right, making billions of dollars, right? Without having logistics mean moving products and industries and everything, setting them up, building them up, and supply chains from one point to the other. That's what logistics is based on logic, and so therefore he had a logistics company with no big contracts from all these African governments like Burkina Faso and all these other places, right? Which he bribed officials, and he got no big contracts, you know. And so it had to take Western countries and Western governments to say this is corrupt, this is against the rule of law and everything. It wasn't African countries that came after this white guy; it was Western companies. So I don't know, understand how if all this corruption goes on a daily basis and Africans say nothing about it, right? How is it that you're going to say, oh yeah, it's all France now that's the problem? France now is the problem? No, no, this is something that was decades in the making. You let the French set up their bauxite and the uranium companies and everything. You could have been mining uranium. You could have been processing that. You could have been exporting all these things and everything if you invested your time into it and educate
Mhm.
yourself for it.
They
You
got their
know,
payout and they got drunk in France.
that's what I'm saying. You got your white women. They invite you to their party with their white women and everything like that. You sit up there with their blondes and everything like that. Next thing you know sold your whole country, your history out, and you're gonna come back in 2023 talking about you want us to join you in this. Oh, the friend? No, no. What we haven't, we African Americans have not engaged France in Africa yet. So why are we gonna make enemies right when you guys half-ass want to be brothers with us? The thing. So when we go to Africa, we don't know who our friends and enemies are gonna be. You know, we're just gonna. That's just a fair warning. So it could be the Portuguese, it could be the Lebanese, it could be the Russians, it could be the Chinese. Yeah, we're determined to do this thing. And Africans, made their deals and everything. Right now, you got Ruto. He's pocketing $100 million to send troops to Haiti. Africa is basically doing things, and then we don't see the consequences for years later. What they do. Well, this deal was signed by President such and such 30 years ago and everything like that. And like, whoa, wow. So what can we say when the Africans sign these bad deals and do all this stuff and everything, and the money gets looted and everything? Ghana is going to this is the 18th time Ghana has to go to the IMF, and President Otto is so desperate that he threw Burkina Faso under the bus at a table, a round table with the United States Chief of Staff and Tony Blinken and all of them saying, "Oh, I'm concerned about the Russian movement in Burkina Faso." And Blinken is tapping on like, "What do you want us to do?" Yeah, So basically, he wants a deal. Give me $100 million. I'll spy on the Burkina Faso. I'll let you use my Ghana as a base to spy on them and all stuff like this and everything. And so, basically, I don't care about Burkina Faso. I'm gonna make what happened. The Israeli war friggin' knocked that right off the headlines. The friggin' whole Niger war and all stuff like that disappeared. Now everybody's saying, "Nah, I think we're not going to invade Niger. I think we're going to have diplomatic thing." No, why? Because that the Niger was going to fight back, Mali was going to fight back, and you don't have the international spotlight anymore. The world's focused on the Middle East. So what will happen is if you did start that war, millions of people, Africans, would die. And just like what's going on in Congo, just like what's going on in Southern Cameroon, no one would give a damn. And that would be the worst thing in the world. See, a lot of Africans don't mind people dying so long as they're getting headlines. You know, that's a sad part about it. Now that the world's focused on Gaza and Israel and whatnot, they know if we start a war here and whatnot, and millions of people start dying, and we have a refugee crisis, it will never end. It'll take 30 years to recover. So when people like Kiddo come up here and you come for us, we have an honest in our heart assessment to see our mother continent succeed. You can tell by the words I'm speaking right now that I actually really care, and it's not about trying to make Africans look bad, whatever like that.
We're going to let
Now
Josie
somebody
go.
said, "A said Congress come protect." If I wasn't concerned, I wouldn't be on this phone line right now. You know. That's another thing about the African mind. He'll freaking let the European rape him, kill him, and everything like that. But the bottom line is this: he doesn't even know how to discern when
Okay.
somebody's being real and somebody's being fake.
How are you?
Good, good.
Am,
Yeah,
how are you,
Josie.
Am?
Good.
Yeah, can you hear me? Are you alright?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Look, what I wanted to say is this. In terms of the whole overcharging thing, I think a lot of people, when they buy from people, especially normal businesses, dress down because a lot of people are going to overcharge you if they perceive you as having more money. It's just the reality. It happens to Africans as well across the continent. It's something that I've seen over the years. It's like if they perceive you as making more money, the price is gonna go up. If they think you live in the suburbs, they're gonna charge you more. It's just something that happens to everybody, even people who live on the continent. So dress down and negotiate. Have an idea of how much the product or service that you're buying is locally as well. Do your research in terms of that, it's not always in a bad way. They're not necessarily trying to like coerce you go after a certain group of people. They're just trying to make money, and if they can get you for a bit more, they'll do it. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to add.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Look. Yeah,
happened
look.
in South Africa. Josie, does
What
that
else?
happen in
Hello,
South Africa?
Did you say something?
Yeah, I was asking, does that happen in South Africa?
Well, it depends where you buy it from.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does. If you're buying from an informal business, let's say a guy like a loan mechanic, he might charge you more, see whatever he can get from you, depending on where you buy from, and especially like informal businesses and some markets, like lower end markets. So if they perceive you as having a bit more money, they might try to get you for more. So let's say you wanna like a live chick, for example. If chickens cost, let's say 100 rand, if they think you make a bit more money, you might try to charge you like 400 rand. Things the suburbs, let's say someone like myself, like he might even go up to like 500 rand because he thinks I have more money, and especially not and how much things cost over there. And if you're not from the country, like let's say you're a foreigner, even if you're from a neighboring country, and you dressed well, you show up in a nice car, they're gonna charge you more. So always keep that in mind, is that in some businesses, especially informal businesses, where they don't have like prices written, they kind of like tell you, hey, look, this is how much this thing costs. They're gonna try get you for what they can get you for. It does happen in the informal sector. So yeah.
So you're right.
Thank you, Josie. Yeah, who was that? I think that was Kid
I
Ola.
think that was Kid Ola. Ola.
They can tell you $500,
Ola.
but you have to price it down to, you know what I mean? You have to price it down. So if you think you're a
Yeah, you
foreigner,
need to negotiate.
you need to
No, you
negotiate.
need to negotiate.
That doesn't mean we price it. That mean price it
Yes.
by pricing it. So if you think you're a foreigner, you have a friend. You have to hold like a local person that can help you negotiate. All this kind of business. But not like somebody have to come to YouTube. Then you have to say, oh, Ghana is this, or Ghana is this, or you want to bring Africans. Look, nobody asked you to come down over there. Nobody pack your bag for you. You pack your bag yourself. You know what I mean? Nobody asked you to go, oh, I'm going there now, that they're all waiting for you to come and give you flowers. You went there yourself, or you're the one going there yourself. So whatever happened to you, whatever consequence or whatever you experience, bear it yourself. But don't have to come to YouTube. Oh, you see, they treat me like this. Nobody treats you like that. You might be you have encountered one or two people. You just think, oh, everybody treats you like that. Then they start coming to YouTube, started ranting, and ranting. If you think, look, if I will tell you the truth, there are Ghanaians who live in London, Americas, and everything, who are not doing things back home, or who left long time. The people in their street is not waiting for them. 10 years is back in that street. The whole street is the whole street have changed to something else. More mansion is being built. Beautiful things is being done on that street. No, Peter have left long time. Let's wait for Peter before we develop this place. It did go. It's not going like that in Africa. Africans are the ones doing their things themselves. It might take them time because mostly in West Africans, they don't borrow money to do things. They build these houses slowly on their own. Doesn't see things take time for some area to develop. It might take up to 5 years because some of these buildings, some of these businesses you're seeing is not on loan. Some of these things are not, oh, let me go to bank now, let me go and borrow $1 million. Like what they're doing in the West. Credit something. In Africa, you cannot build, and not in America, you can just start nailing woods and everything. Because most American houses are being built by woods. In Africa, it's block, concrete. So this is take time. So if you come to Africa, you expect, oh, because you're an American, oh, they're waiting for you. Oh, okay, it's coming now. let's wait for James to come. No, they don't even know you. You know, it's a millions. Who are you? You're nothing. Then you go back and say, oh, Africans are dorsey. Africa cannot think. Okay, they can't think of you. They actually helping them to build their houses and plan their business. You live on credit loan. They don't live on credit loan. They struggle. They make their business themselves. You know, that because you earn some money, you wear
Hey,
Shonika.
Kinola, do you understand? Kinola, let me ask you a question, right? Do you understand how finance and business actually works? It
I'm
works through
telling you
credit,
that
everything.
forget that your American,
You know, hey, hold on.
forget that your American credit system.
You wonder
Forget
why
that
Africa
forget that your American credit
has no
system.
banks and no currency and everything, because in order for you to make money, right, money has to be lent out, right, and then it has to accrue interest, and then it lent out again, everything like that. Sometimes you can lend out money before it's even earned, right? That's why the West and the Asian people have all the money that you got to borrow every year to keep your economy going. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to have domestic credit markets. You don't
If
want to do all
Ghana,
the stuff like this.
do you think any country will borrow you money if you have nothing to offer?
Oh my
You have
God, dude!
oil.
I don't, Kyla. I don't think he's just. I don't think he
No, I'm
understands
asking you. No, I'm
I
asking
think
you.
if your
Kinola's
country's
not
going to
stupid.
develop,
He's not
I'm
stupid.
asking you.
you need a credit system,
What?
sir. You need
Hold
a
on,
credit system.
Why are people not borrowing Haiti money as a country?
Man, it's hopeless.
Look,
It's a
it's
lost
because
cause
Ghana.
hopeless.
with
It's
this
because
guy.
it's because Ghana have something to offer. No, even Chinese will not borrow you money if they know they have nothing to pick. Nothing for you. You have
Everything's
to
based
to
on
the table.
credit, bro.
So don't come and say, oh, this bank here, this bank there. Africans have been existing right from the day of their own, even before the independence. So what I'm trying
You
to
see,
say
look, if they were producers, if they were net
as a
producers,
layman, look,
if they were net producers, credit would not be a huge deal.
look, as a layman, most of these Ghanaians that are developing their streets and their towns and turning these towns to be cities are not going to borrow. They're not going to borrow money from
It
IMF.
takes them 20 years to build a house.
They use their local currency. They use most of their things. They don't even know about IMF. You understand? So when we say we build things for ourselves, we don't think about World Bank. We just go down before they will even trade that better.
Why not have something built in 5 years instead of 20?
You see, that is the American system. That's what I said is the system. The system you want to look. Africans have
It's
the
not
way they
this.
do things themselves.
What
So
about equity? What about equity and leverage?
You cannot come and say, "Oh,
Liquidity and equity.
why you build this
Look,
house for 20 years?"
Look, hold on. We're talking about shit that's like been used in like the 1700s. Like we're not talking about super advanced economics here. Okay, dealing with the banking
Adam
system.
Smith. All right, hold up. Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations. Africans have never read that book, The Wealth of Nations.
We Africans don't know anything about your own system. We know about our own system. It's
No,
just like
we talk about what
hold
works.
on,
We're not talking about what's better. No, we're not saying we're not even bringing race into it, sir. We're not bringing race into it. We're talking, sir. We're not bringing race into it. We're talking about what actually works on the international system. That's it. It's not what we want. It's what actually happens.
No, nothing. You see, I've seen you people houses. Why you people houses are like crumble? It's because you people build houses with woods, a lot with woods. All the board. When I hear someone say, "Oh, I just blow," hold on. Look, that your wall over there. Go and hit it. If that one would not be,
Yeah, we have things called inspections and stuff like that. Appraiser inspections. You know what a house has to go through before you get a mortgage over here? Houses they just built of wood. You know, so houses are built to last forever over here because we have banks backing up. We have insurance companies backing up.
On top of that, if it doesn't last, somebody's gonna get sued and get their money took. Okay, so there's protections all around. That's what you don't understand.
Houses are made of woods. It's not houses. You know, it's just like it's just like somebody who lives.
You don't know what you're talking about, Kidola.
I've seen people build this.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're not a subcontractor or a contractor. You've never built a house. Have you built a house? Kidola, have you built a house?
All right, guys.
What's wrong with wood?
mean, I have houses, not one house.
Okay, no. Have you built a house? And plus, what is wrong with wood? People use wood to
I
build a
use
house all over the
bricklays.
world.
I use bricklays to mold my block with cement and sand. Then they start using it right down from the foundation. You understand me? With rods. Then down to the decking with rods. Then move on again with
guys,
concrete
hold
also.
on. Like, what happened there? Like, because I went away and then I came back and you guys were arguing before I spoke. Like, what's wrong? Like,
It
what's
just
going on exactly?
all that's going on is he doesn't want to recognize a simple truth of if Africans go in a certain direction when it comes to baking, they can get things built on on credit, on certain credit vehicles and systems. They can get things built, and they're not going to go into massive debt. They just have to manage it well, just like every other country on the international stage does.
Yep.
He's against that.
He said we do everything cash.
We got to do
cash. That's what
Uber
all
banking. We got to do Uber banking with chicken bones. The African way. That's how we got to do it.
We got to ooga booga our way out of everything.
Okay. Hold on. Can I just say this? So, I don't speak about what happens in East Africa, but the credit system does help, especially when you're growing a business. So, like, if you use it right and you pay it off over time, you can actually accumulate a lot of money from it. Like, it works here in my country, like in South Africa. Like,
thank you. See, that's all we were saying. That's all we were saying, Josie. That's all we were saying, Josie, and he wants to.
That's what I'm saying.
Look,
that's the thing. I don't know what that's about.
See, Josie, what I said. Look, what I said is this: you cannot come from United States. You start running your mouth like, oh, these Africans are this. Okay, there's that. And I said, look, these Africans you're running your mouth, they are not on credit. They don't own no loan to nobody. The bank, but it's not a bank in Africa. Are not borrowing people loan for business. But most of the business you see in Africa have been done without no bank helps. These are guys, people who save their own money by trading and saving that money to expand their business. Even their houses, I'm talking about West Africa now. Most of the houses you see in West Africa have been built without no loans. You understand me? And these houses being inherited by family members. Somewhere in America, so, oh, white people have they can pass wealth to their children. In Africa, we pass wealth to our children. We don't pass no debt to our children. We pass real wealth for them to inherit, not debt.
Nobody passes on housing debt to their kids. What are you talking about?
Hold on. Somebody don't die in Africa, in Nigeria or Ghana, that they have to sell their house because the tax of this house is too much. We have to sell this house now. No. The family inherit this house without no debt. The children will inherit this house without nothing, no debt. And enjoy the house. That house will also be passed over. I have learned that my ancestors passed to me.
Dude, you're already talking about people that already have means and already have wealth. Credit actually helps people. Hold on. Credit can actually help build your middle. Hold on, kid. Credit can actually help build your middle class. That's the biggest thing that Africa needs is a middle class. So you need credit. You need it.
The truth, Africa have to manage their own resources more better. That's just what I see.
Yeah, but what you're advocating is only rich people building houses debt free. Like average people cannot do that. Average people of or people of modest means or trying to come from the out of poverty into the working classes or whatever, in order for them to get housing that's sustainable or whatever, they're going to need certain credit schemes. I'm not saying mismanage it and make your government go into financial ruin, but it help you build your middle class. And it seems like, to me, you're arguing against that.
Look, we already know much about the system already. So when you start working, whatever entity you're doing, when you start trading or you start selling anything, and you remember, oh, I need a house, you start building your house. Some of them already start making money, depending on what kind of business you're running or what you're doing. You start already saving money to start building your house, sometimes at a very early age. Let us say some of these houses you see can take up to 5 years, but they start doing slowly. You understand? So that's what you see. That's why I said that, look, Africans, I don't know, no African will say, oh, let me wait for Black Americans to come and help me. No, that's evil diaspora. An African guy that left 5 years ago,
I
10
don't
years
think
ago.
anybody said that, sir.
So
I
5
think
years
you
ago,
keep
10 years
saying
ago,
that.
it's not
You
when
keep saying that, but nobody said that.
what I'm telling you right now that
Nobody, I don't think
what
any
I'm just
black, I'm
telling you,
sorry,
because
no
of
black
Kella
American I've
said,
heard
Kella
said they're
said
going to
that
be
guy.
go back
Kella
to
said, no,
Africa and be the
no,
savior.
Kella said,
Kid
Black
Ola. I have not heard a black American say, I'm going back to Africa and I'm going to be the savior. That's some shit white people say.
Oh man, a lot of them are saying, I'm going to help Africa.
Okay, that's different. No, that's different. See, you changing words around.
No,
See,
what do you mean by I'm going to help Africa? How can you help
that's not the same as talking about being a savior. Hold on. Kid Ola. That is not the same as saying talking about you're gonna be the savior of Africa. Saying you want to help out is way different from acting like you're the savior. So don't do
How
that.
can you help? What can, do you know how
He
big
would not have no problem. He would not have no problem if when white people say it. They'll say it all the time. We're going to help the starving people in Africa. They say it all the time. And Africa's kiki and laugh all over the internet and whatnot. You know, Chinese say it all the time. You got people rule China.
No, they're
So
like,
this, you know,
oh, that white man, he's a good white man.
he's a
No,
good white man and whatnot. You know,
TV.
you know, and what you call Kiddo is married to a white woman.
I've never seen any white man that come to Africa TV and say, "Oh, we want to help
No,
Africa."
Kiddo, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what they really think about you. Let me tell you what you ooga boogas, what white people really think about you. They tell me when I was growing up, when the best thing we could have ever did was bring you over here from Africa. They have no respect for you whatsoever. They laugh in your face and play with you, but they really, 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 it shows you why there's no major infrastructure industries on the African continent. They really don't have any faith in you and your humanity to build anything or to make any decisions beyond your borders. You have no respect. So this idea of Africa is going to the UN talking about we want to do the UN, and the white men will blow the UN up before they give you power of a permanent seat on the UN. That's what they think of you. You know, that's what they really think of you. They don't care if millions of you people die on the continent and everything like that. They do not care. They don't care about your humanity.
Let me just tell you. You see, when Corona came into this, when Corona came in most of Western people say, "Oh, we're sorry for Africa." We do. You see, God have way to show who is a really strong man on earth. In Europe, they were picking bodies like they were picking fruits on the ground. A lot of people were dying like chicken. The so-called good health care, the so-called good medicine, the so-called everything. They were falling like you put chickens, you put raised in your cages there.
And when Ebola happened, you motherfuckers were on the ground begging for the white man to come save you. Shut up.
You would die like chickens, Who stood? Can look? How many people die in Africa? I can tell you, maybe in Nigeria even none. In Ghana, I think none. In most African countries, none. But the so-called good health, good hospitals, living good, this all artificial looking shit. You are eating nonsense.
But you in white man country though.
No, you are eating nonsense.
You in the white man country though.
No, you are just eating nonsense.
You are in the white man's country,
you
sir.
Have industries.
What are you even trying to say? What are you trying to say, sir?
But the pollution hitting you hard. The pollution there is hitting you hard.
Ooga booga Mike's in America.
People come and be talking nonsense. Look. Okay, you talk about Ebola. How many people died in Ebola? In Sierra Leone, if you want to go down to Sierra Leone, how many people died in Sierra Leone? Maybe 3,000. Look at Corona. How many people died in the United States? Thousands, over 10,000. Over 10,000, if not up to 20,000. You want to talk about Ebola?
Why
are
you yelling?
How many people died in Ebola from it?
Why are you yelling, sir?
Your people are dying on the streets, on the wrong way, on the whole way,
sir. What's your point?
You want to talk about when Ebola came able to die. Africans are more stronger than you people. You people can't even resist. You people can't even resist what Africa can resist.
Calm down. Okay, Kidola, let's relax.
No, I'm telling you right now because you came with Ebola. That's what I'm telling you. I'm able to die in Ebola in Africa. If that's what you want to talk about. And even the Ebola, they even kill up to 3,000 in Sierra Leone because that's where it really ravaged. But how many people died in Ebola in Corona in New York. New York, refrigerator was on the street. Bought the refrigerator
Okay,
was on the street.
let's reset. Let's
No, you
calm
want to
down a little bit.
because you want to talk. You have good health care, good this. These are all fake. What you eat is artificial.
Okay, sir. Let's bring it back. Okay, let's not yell. We can talk about this.
Nothing on it. We drink clean water than you people. We even
Okay,
eat
just
the correct food than you
hold it.
people.
Just relax,
We live
man.
on the
Just, you
better
don't
house
have to
than you
yell.
people.
Okay, you don't have to yell because it was really hard to understand you because you were so animated. I understand you think the American health system is really bad, but and there are criticisms. We criticize it all the time. I do as an American, but it seems that when it comes to specialized healthcare and the standard of care, we're one of the best on the planet. So you know, it's kind of hard for you to say what you're saying when yeah.
I work in the healthcare field. The United States has the best healthcare system in the world,
Yeah,
bar
like
none.
there's
No
criticisms,
one.
but he's just talking crazy stuff.
All the top surgeons and medical come here to study the medical science.
When Ebola was around, where were the healthcare then? You people
We
talking about
didn't get
healthcare.
hit by Ebola over here,
You
bro.
people talking about we have the best healthcare. We have this. We have that.
It is the best healthcare system in the world.
You know I'm pissed because this guy said, "Oh, when Ebola came."
Well, yeah, because you were denigrating Western healthcare. You're denigrating Western health. Hold on, you're denigrating Western healthcare, but then Western healthcare stabilized an actual pandemic on the African continent.
I don't think you heard him. He didn't denigrate Western healthcare. He was talking about the way people eat. That's what he's saying. Like that people eat more.
So hold on. So you
natural
guys
food. That's what
eat
he was
bush
talking about.
meat. You guys eat bush meat right
Which
out the
is
freaking
healthy.
rats and everything out in the street.
I know you don't respect
Going out-
Africans. I know Kala. So this
No, I'm just
Kumaya is
saying.
trying to.
Hold on.
No, Kala.
Hold
The
on.
deal is you don't wait now.
How is it you
Hold
gonna
on.
talk about? How you gonna be this talk about what somebody eats and whatnot? When you guys, I seen a pig
No,
where a
no,
guy
it's
was
not
selling
this. It's
suya.
a matter of fact that we eat more chemical. Hold on now. We eat more
And
chemical
you
food
guys
in the
have a
West.
lower life expectancy. Why is
Who
your
has
lower
lower
life
life
expectancy
expectancy?
lower?
Who does?
Africa, on average, is lower life expectancy in
Based
the
on what?
world.
Based on what data?
You go look it up, right? Infant
Look it up
mortality
where?
rate,
No, tell me.
birth rate, and whatnot, preventable diseases, everything bottom last.
Really? You went there and did
Yes.
it?
Y'all are
really?
getting eaten by alligators and hippos, dog.
Okay, yeah. Now you guys are showing your true color now. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? No, we're just telling the truth.
Kumbai,
You want to
thank
smoke? You guys still dying of freaking malaria.
Man, you are the champion of diabetes. If you want to go down that road.
No,
it's just the truth.
don't worry, man. Cool down. Let me deal with these guys. Hold on. See, the deal is this. Hold on. This can I come in real quick? Can I come in, guys? You guys have been talking for a while. Can I just come in? Here's what I want to say. Here's what I think. I think human beings are human beings. You're gonna find good people and you're gonna find bad people. You're gonna find people that like you, you're gonna find people that hate you, among all groups of people. So the idea of saying somebody have your skin color because someone shares the same skin color as you automatically, oh, he has uh uh he has what's the word, more of your interest at heart than someone that has a different skin color. That's a fallacy, and that's one mistake many people should not fall for. Some people will come and say, oh, just like I said earlier, oh, the white people hate you, oh, they don't like you, they don't respect you. Oh, me, I'm FBA. I'm your brother. I like you and I respect you. No, you don't. Come on, man. You don't respect the Africans, man. The deal is, I'm not saying all African Americans that are going to Africa or don't respect Africa or don't have genuine interest. But the fact of the matter is, it's not everybody. You can't just say every African American have genuine interest or like Africans, or Africans should just open their arms. And I'm not saying open your arms. I'm saying she just open themselves up and relax and just not pay attention, not care, because there are many of them that really hate Africans. So many. In fact, I can categorically say majority of African Americans don't like Africans. From my life experience.
Where the
Hold on. I'm saying from my own experience. I'm not saying it's a factual. I'm just saying my own interaction. Majority of African Americans I've interacted with just don't like Africans. That's just the fact. So to sit down and be telling me that white people are the one that don't like me, and I should see you as one that like me, that's bull crap. I see people as individual. If I run into a white person that don't like me, okay, I'll say that white person don't like me. If I run into the one that like me, oh, that one like me. If I run into a black American that like me, hey, this one like me. If I run into the one that don't like me, he doesn't like me. So this idea that because we have same skin, automatically we like each other more than somebody else, that's a lie. There are some black Americans that are willing to go to Africa, and their end goal is, man, if I get the chance, I will colonize these people and even kill them. And do the same thing the white man wants to do, the bad white man wants to do. It's not all white man that wants to destroy Africans. There are bad white people that want to destroy Africans. Same way there are bad black Americans that are willing to go there and do the same thing the bad white people wants to do. So what I'm saying is, don't try to sell me these. We are black and automatically let's kumbaya. Kala, I know you. You don't respect Africans, and it comes out of you quick. Just like right now. Oh, you guys Bushman. You guys are the hatred is in you. You're one of those FBA that don't like Africans. You're just looking for opportunity over there. That's it. You're looking for you. You one. You do this. I'm going there to go save. All you went there to do was get a wife. That's one. Passport bros. The passport bros, like Kala, what's his name? Oshedu Jackson. He used to blast. He hated Africans like shit. This guy followed him for some years. He was all he's hatred for Africa. All of a sudden, he discovered that he can get a girl in Uganda. He went over there. Now he's calling himself Pan-Africanist. Oh, I like the Africans. Oh, we are one. We are one. Dude, no, dude, I'm not dumb. Some people may be dumb to fall for that. The president of Ghana can be dumb to fall for that, but not me. I'm not falling for that shit. You know.
What
So
if his understanding changed? What if his understanding changed, Mike?
Understanding, bros. People don't just change, man. No, people don't change.
3 years ago, I wasn't a Pan-African.
Bros, if you have bigotry, you don't change like that.
I was not a Pan-African. People change. I'm 40 years old. He's 22, 23.
Who, bros? The fact of the matter is, I'm not saying someone cannot change, but what I'm telling you is, we have to be careful who is presenting crap in front of us, trying to show us, all this superficial crap. That's what I'm saying. I'm warning people. Don't let someone deceive you that because their skin is the same as yours, oh, they care about you or they like you no. Some people are fake.
I explained that earlier, Mike. I did.
And that's the fact of the matter. So, and trying to tell me, Kala called me to tell us that we should hate white people like him. Bullshit. Kala have more hatred for Africans than my close white friends. I'm telling you. So don't come here with this.
He doesn't hate white people. He don't hate Africans. He literally.
Kala does not respect Africans.
Hold on. Listen. Hold on. I've never met Kala, but I know he's more of a content and character man. Of course, he would give difference.
No, if you want to colonize people,
hold on, Mike. Yeah. Hold on. He would give difference to Africans, but he's more of a content and character. If you're a piece of crap, you're a piece of crap. He's a pretty good discerner of that. Am I right?
Bro, stop kissing his ass, man. Let him speak for himself, man. Listen. I mean, he may not hate African, but Canada doesn't respect Africans, and his desire is, if I get a chance. No. Here's the deal. Kala, I see Kala is a white man in black skin. Kala see African from the lens of a white Eurocentric, from a white man's lens. His understanding of Africa is he doesn't. I think he should go live there for some time.
Are you done with the personal attack, sir? Hey, Mike.
Kala's view of Africa is very stereotypical, extremely stereotypical.
Are you gonna let me talk?
Hold on, you talk.
Let Mike speak. Mike is speaking the same language like you people.
Kala's
view of Africa is very stereotypical.
Like you people, let it speak. Let Mike speak.
No, but I'm just saying, Kala, don't go down to his level. Don't go down to his
level. No, Mike's a piece of garbage.
No, Kala's view. I'm just saying fact. I'm not insulting anyone or going down on any low. I'm not going low. I'm just expressing. I'm not going low. I'm not hitting anybody on the low blow.
You literally okay. Hold on, Mike. Mike, you literally told another black man he would enslave another black man. That's what you just said.
No. I said Kala's desire to colonize.
That's the most offensive. That's literally one of the most offensive.
No, I'm telling you,
black American.
No. As a statement. Hold on
now. How would I be able to colonize somebody?
Are you saying black men never enslave another black man? Hold on, African rifleman. African rifleman. Are you saying black men never enslave another black man?
I'm saying it's offensive. I'm saying it's offensive to say that to another black man that would never do that.
Really? How do you know?
This guy, man, Mike is. These guys are lost.
So you grew up in Kala, you lived in Kala before, right? You know Kala very well. Besides the online, maybe you can. Listen.
Some of you guys.
Okay, Kala, go ahead and cook yourself. Respond.
I'm saying some of you guys are just so full of hate and so full of that you project. What you're doing is you're projecting yourself onto me. First of all, I don't hate white people, right? I have business partners and everything is white. You know, I recognize there is white and there's black in this world, right? And there's a line of demarcation, like W.E.B. Du Bois said. No matter what, it's called having a black consciousness. That when I go into a room and everything like that, you know, when white people are in the room, we can have a conversation about sports, business, everything like that. But when it really comes down to it, right? When the black people get together, the white person walks out of the room, hey, he didn't tell you this, but that's called having a black consciousness. Every black person in America knows how to play the game. That's how we survived and got so far so in America. That's why we're the only minority that produced billionaires in America. Black America. The only one. Name me one billionaire
There
that's
we go with the
non-African
bragging
American.
thing.
I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you why you do that, because these people don't know how to deal with white people. They don't know how to deal with white people. A black man can go with where's your Robert Smiths in America? We produced the world's first black billionaire, Reginald Lewis, 1987. How do you do that?
Say it again. The world first black billionaire
We world's first black billionaire. If you were educated
in
and you read a book
1987
on, yeah, Reginald Lewis.
in the world or in America?
In the world.
In the world in
A
1980.
real,
So the first black man to be billionaire was in 1987. When we having billionaires in Nigeria since when? In Africa since when?
No. I'm talking about legitimate billionaire.
Legitimate billionaire.
I'm not talking about
What's
somebody.
the legitimate billionaire?
The white man
Oh,
minted
so all the
billionaires
other
in
billionaires in
Nigeria.
Africa, they stole the
I'm not
money.
talking about being a lackey of the white man.
The white man minted y'all as billionaires one day.
That's where it goes, man. The Black American supremacy thing. That's it's all about. It's all about. It's all about establishing Black American supremacy. That's what this is all about. This is Pan-African shit.
No, it's not. It's the
Carla,
truth.
this is what you want to do. You want us to come together and you can put yourself on top. That's what you want. You listen. You want us to come together and put the Black Americans on top. I'm not coming together with you.
Coming together with you.
Bros, I'm not doing Pan-African with you if you already think you're superior to me.
I'm not coming together with you.
You think you believe you are superior to other black people because you're Black American.
I do not.
That's your mentality. That's why I get from everything we discuss. Oh, we are the best. We're the Black superior. We're the first Black this. We're this. And you put on propaganda. You can go ahead.
Okay, here's the deal. Why are there so many Black Americans going to Africa, making productive lives as far as starting a business or doing something productive that adds value somewhere on the continent, and they're integrating into their communities? They're not making breakaway community, even though the thing about it is how you talk is why people like Kala and me think maybe we need to have certain communities over there that we can defend ourselves and actually do stuff to where people like you don't come in and try to say we're trying to take from you and destroy stuff and all that rhetoric where people die. That's what you are talking about. So it's weird to me. People are going there, making value in the continent and trying to integrate into being more African than they already are. That's what people are trying to do. You're trying to say some other stuff that's not true.
What other stuff am I saying is not true? Can you be specific? You don't just throw buzzwords saying you're talking like this. To say what I said, quote what I said. That is crap. That is not true. Tell me.
Okay, well, I'll tell you like this, right? If you say black people in America are going to Africa to colonize, right?
Is that what I said? Is that what I said?
Yeah, exactly what you said.
That's exactly
what you said. That's exactly
I came in the show. I started off saying you will find good people, you'll find bad people. Some people you have to be careful with them, and that's the problem with you.
Hold on. Here's the thing. Here's a problem. Here's a problem with that, Mike. Right? And listen to this and listen very carefully, right?
I said Black Americans like color. I didn't say all Black Americans, and I made it clear.
Yeah, well, if I'm a leading Black American, African American, when you talk about me, I'm the typical African American. I know the soul of Black America. So if
unfortunately, your kinds has been leading their people, and you've been leading them astray.
Hold on, you're talking about Black America. If you talk about color, you're actually talking about Black America. Because I cover every spectrum. I could cover.
Now, I bet Black Americans are far more decent than you, man.
No. Check this out. Look. I'm basically. I understand the views of the Black conservative. I understand the views of the Black liberal. I understand the views of the Black Christian, the Black Muslim, the North, South, East, West, and whatnot. I'm the story of Black America, right? So, and also I understand how we can engage Africa. So when you talk about college
No,
eds
no,
like
no,
that,
no, no,
you're
no.
really
You don't know how
you're
Black
talking.
Americans. You only know the ones around you, the one you
No,
surround
no, no.
yourself with.
No. I am Black America.
Those.
I am Black America. I don't know what you.
I'm not, bro. Carla, listen. Let me tell you
No. You
something,
don't
man.
know.
Let me tell you
You
my
don't know
experience.
anything about us. You
I'm
don't know
dude,
anything
dude,
about
bro.
us. So
I probably know more about your community than you.
No. All you know is the negative. 90%
No,
of what I
I just said about the positive. I just told you I know Black
You
Americans
say
are far more decent than you, and you don't believe me. So I'm no more
say
positive than you. If you don't believe that,
check this
hold
out.
on,
Check this out.
hold on. Can you wait for a second?
No. You're
You
doing it.
no,
It's
no.
my
You
turn
need
to
to you
talk.
need you need to wait for a
It's
second
my
because
turn. It's
you
my turn to
accusing
talk.
me.
No.
Can you mute this
It's
guy,
my
African
turn.
millennial? He's been here
It's
for
my
2 hours, and I just came
no.
in and won't even let me talk.
It's my turn to talk. It's my turn to
No,
talk.
it's my turn. I had the floor.
It's my
You
turn to
telling
talk.
me they only know the negative, and I'm telling
You know what
you
I'm
that I
saying?
know Black American are more decent than you,
Everything,
and you're telling me that I'm lying.
90% of
So
what you
who's
talk about.
negative? You're the one that's negative.
Hold up. You said one time on the show, on this show, on the Kaiser show.
No, no,
That
you're not.
black,
No, no. Let's talk about here. Don't try to put what in my mind about some other time. People are listening to what we're
Hold up, 2
discussing
months
today.
ago. Hold up, 2 months ago on Kaiser's show,
You're gonna
you
make up
said
some shit.
no, just everyone knows
Go
about
ahead and
this.
make it up. Make it up. Make it up. You make one today already. So make up another one about some.
You said Black Americans only vote with Democrats because they promise them free shit and
What?
they want handouts. You said that on
I said what?
Kaiser's show. You said Black Americans they only vote, but we'll talk about politics, right? In America, why would y'all talk about politics in America? I don't know, but you said Black Americans only want handouts and everything. That's why
I said
Democrats
that.
give them
Now
free
you're
stuff.
lying.
Yes,
See, you
you
put
said
word in
that.
people's mouth.
Yes, you
Maybe I'll
said
start
that.
putting
Yes,
word
you
in your
said that.
mouth too, so you can
Yes,
know how
you
you
did.
feel.
Yes, you said that. Yes, you
No,
said that.
you
You're a
literally
liar, man.
said that.
Okay,
I listen.
whatever,
I
You
mute
whatever.
said that.
Mike.
Okay,
You
I
said
heard
whatever.
it
that.
You said. You
myself.
said.
You said that
You
several
said that. You
times.
said that. You said that
Okay,
several times.
okay, okay. I said
You're a
that. Okay,
liar. You're a
whatever.
liar at that.
Okay, let's focus on. Okay, dude.
So
I'm not here to.
you're a
Okay,
liar.
okay. Let's take your word that. Okay, I'm
You said
something
that. You're
about.
a liar.
But I'm not here
You're
to
not a
claim.
decent
But at
person.
the same time, I'm not here to try to tell you. Let's get together. Let's be kumbaya shit. You don't respect me. I don't
Nobody
respect
wants to
you. How about you
kumbaya.
stay in your place and stay?
Nobody's
Don't come
kumbaya
out.
with
If you
you,
don't
Mike.
respect me, you don't respect my people. Don't
I
come here
don't
and be
respect you. I don't
trying
respect
to trick
Africans like
us
you.
to be doing kumbaya with you. Trying to
I don't
tell us you're
respect
coming to
Africans.
build
No,
us and
look.
you want to build some black in my
Yo, I
Wakanda.
don't respect
Bullshit.
Africans
Stop
who go
lying,
around
dude.
talking
You have
about
no
I
respect.
can get white girls. I can
You
get
don't,
white girls. You
bros,
tell Nigerians
bro.
and
Let
you
me
get
tell
all
you,
the white girls. You get all the
African
white
millennial.
girls.
Are you controlling this show, man? Can we talk
Well,
one at a
no.
time?
I
Because
mean,
this guy
Mike, do
here
you have a
just
white girlfriend or wife? Do you have a white
can we
girlfriend or wife?
see? Okay, see exactly. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Racism,
because you do.
racism. You have white girlfriend. You guys are. I don't know, man. It's just your mentality.
Actually, my girlfriend's not white.
Let me tell you something. See, here's the deal. Here's what I learned. Hey, allow me to talk, please. Here's what I learned since my years living in America, right? You have these black Americans that be doing this conscious thing, telling you, hey, we too trying to build black conscious. Hey, stay away from those whites. Oh, we don't do whites here.
We
The
don't do
demarcation.
that. We
Wait,
don't
let me
even do
land. Let me
that. What are
land.
you
Let me
talking
land.
about?
I'm
I'm
telling you,
conservative. I'm
bro. Can I
conservative. What are
talk,
you
man?
talking about, dummy?
Cannot talk.
Hey,
I didn't mention your name. I didn't say you. I didn't mention your name. Can I just make my line?
No, but you're talking about us, man. We're
I
not.
didn't
We're
say
not.
all
Stop
of
trying to
you.
put us
I
in a
said
box.
they are these. Oh, bros, can you, if you listen, learn to. I said they are these kind of these black Americans, these kind of black Americans. No, I didn't say all black Americans. Please, this category of black Americans, they will be telling you, hey, let's do this black consciousness, this, black that, trying to draw a line. Hey, don't rock with this white, don't deal with Asians, just deal with it black. And then what I found out was the same black would be the one who trying to shoot me. You understand? They're the one that willing to take my life quicker than even the white man they tell me to stay away from. How many times have I interacted with black Americans that have threatened to take my life? They're the one that willing to kill you, destroy you, call you, express most hatred towards you. And they be the first to tell you, hey, let's do big, blickily black bullshit. And I can sit through them. Like, it's just bullshit, man. Let's stop this capping stuff. If you want to build something, go and build it. Let's say it. It's not by talking and trying to trick people to come rock with you because your skin is black.
No, let me ask
I
you.
know a lot of them. Someone
Hey,
like Kala would probably
Mike,
ready
we
to
want
kill
to
me before a
separate
white man
from
would
those
try to,
people.
you know.
And Mike, in America, you can ask Kala, but I want to separate from those blacks. I've been trying to do that my whole life. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, so the bottom line, what it is that Mike is what he sees is this comes from when you're not around. I don't know where he lives, whatever like that, right?
I'm around
I'm
people like
hold,
Kala. I know those kind of people. You're one of them, Kala.
I'm around
You're one
professional
of
black
them.
people. I'm around around professional black people. Yo, look, I run a real business. I can put my website up and everything like that.
Kala,
You can't
you
do
don't
that.
respect other blacks, man. You're
You
one
know
of
what I'm
those
saying? You know
black
what I'm saying?
Americans. You don't
You know
have
what I'm
respect
saying?
for other blacks. Your
Okay,
goal is
no, it's not that.
you're an opportunist. That's what you are, opportunist. You
No,
rank.
no, I'm
I
not.
know a lot of black Americans
What
like you do.
opportunities? What
The
opportunities? When
opportunists.
I've lost more
You see the
money.
Africans. I
I
ain't rocking
spent.
with the African. He look dusty. The moment the African guy start making money, oh, I want to be his friend. Oh, I rock with the
No. Yo, I
Nigerians
have
because
not made.
they making
Look.
money.
I
But
have
before they
not
started
made.
making money, you call them
Mike,
monkeys. You call them all kinds of names. The moment they
Mike.
start being successful, you want to become friends with them.
Mike. You want to be stupid? You know what I'm saying? I have not made one dime with Africans yet. You know, I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. You know, so the bottom line is, if
Really?
I make more
You told us you
my
want to
money
go
in
build
America.
Liberia. Well, when you
You
went
know what
over
I'm
there,
saying?
you didn't build
You know what I'm
shit. You
saying?
only
You don't
pick
even
your
know what
wife.
you don't
You
know.
want to get married, you know?
So the bottom line is, first of all, my wife. It has nothing to do with the Pan
But
African
that's the
War.
only thing you've done in
We
Liberia.
know.
Got a
We know.
wife. Passport, bro.
Well, also I got a lot of
Oh, you've been
friends.
telling us you're gonna build all kinds of highways and you're gonna build communities and all kinds of stuff. And the Africans, the Liberians don't know how to build shit. You're gonna go there and build communities, build highways, build it. And when you go in there, I'm like, oh, Kala is there to build something. And you only came back with a
need.
wife. What's up with that, man?
So I don't need you.
And then one thing you
For
built in
somebody,
Liberia in the past 30 years, we've been talking
for
about
somebody,
Liberia.
for Mike, you never showed your face on this thing. We don't know
Bro,
who you
forget about my
are,
face. Don't move
what
the
you do.
goalpost.
No.
Tell us one thing you built in Liberia since you've been talking about Liberia for the past 30 years, man.
Show me,
You only went there for a week and you got a wife. You ran back after getting bit by a mosquito.
I
And she
know
came
my wife
back
for
talking
10
all
years.
that rubbish.
I knew my look. I knew my wife for 7 years
You get on the internet
while back
telling
in
us, oh,
Liberia
the
and
black
whatnot.
American is superior black. What kind of statement is that?
So the
Kala, did
bottom
you
line is
say
this.
this?
Hold on. Why don't
Okay,
hold on? No, I never said that.
did you say the
Not
black American
Measy
is
has said
superior
that.
black?
We've
I
never
know. I
said
never
that.
said that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
never
I
said
Not
never
that,
said
Measy
really.
said that.
You never
I
said
never
that.
said that.
Kala, are you
You
No, I
serious?
said that.
never
It's
said
always
that.
not Measy saying that.
No.
You
Kala
know
was
it's
the
different.
first
You
to say,
lying,
even
Mike. You a
way before.
liar.
Dude,
Mike's a liar. Mike's a liar.
why are you on his? What's up with the African rifleman? Whatever they
It's
call
the
your name,
truth.
But you're a
American
liar.
rifleman.
You're a liar.
Dog. Knock Measy is the only black American that runs around saying black Americans are the
Rifleman.
superior blacks. He's
Are
the
you
only one that says that.
around
And
Kala's every day holding his nut
I've
for
gone.
him to
Hold
know
on.
everything they have said?
Several times I've gone on Kaizo's stream and
Are
defended
you?
Africans against
How
Knock
would you
Measy
know what
and
Kala said on
and
it?
trying to be superior to
And so he put
Africans,
words. He
talking
put.
about he's black
He got me.
American.
Bro. Are you around? Are you with Kala 24/7 to know everything they say? Or what is?
No,
What is this?
you can listen to my show. I go on I'm
Kala,
on
I've seen
Vermont
you in
show.
Sacho Uhuru on Danny's channel, sitting there telling
And
us
I never
black
said that.
Americans are the superior black.
I will be banned from Dynasty's show if I said something like that. I'll be banned from Vermont show if I said something like that. So why are you lying?
And you know Dynas would never allow
Okay, it's
somebody to
okay.
say that.
I know what I've been hearing, so it's no problem. Man.
Hold on.
Well, I don't know what you're
Measy
hearing,
has
man.
never
You're
no
hearing
hold on.
spirits.
Not Measy will go around everybody else's shows and say black
I have more
Americans are
respect for
superior black.
Nakmizi. He's real. He's not
He
fake.
would never
He's
hold on. He
straightforward.
would never go on Dynas show and never say that because Dynas would kick his ass off, and
Are you
everybody
kidding me?
knows that.
Are you kidding?
Okay, whatever.
So Mike's a
All right,
jokester.
whatever, man. He stopped saying it when people like us started checking him.
Like Mike, you really do lie a lot, sir.
Mike is a liar. He's a liar. He's a delusional.
Dude, you're just a fake guy. You can't get a girlfriend in America. You want to go to Africa. Now you come here telling us you want to go be an African. Come on,
I
man.
had plenty of girlfriends and whatever in
No,
America.
you've got a wife. Rifleman is following your lead. He wants to go there to get a wife too. That's all.
Bottom
The
line is
rifleman over here.
at certain age,
You can't even. The rifleman come here to tell us you want to go build
That's right. She's gonna be
telling us
young and
business.
beautiful. She's gonna be young, black, and beautiful from the continent. Really, cope and seethe harder.
Rifleman, why can't you get a woman in America, man? Are you kidding me? All these different black American women out there, so many great ones. You can't get one? Come on, man. Get you one.
Well,
you don't have to go all the way to. You don't have to be a passport, bros. See, if you can't get a woman, you just check your character. You don't need to be blaming your women.
Says a guy who lives in America, right, and chases white women and whatnot. Once you get a Nigerian woman.
Why are you so obsessed with white women?
Is your wife or girlfriend white, Mike?
Why are you so obsessed with white people? What's up with this, man? What's up with white people? Are white people your problem? Are white people the reason you can get a girl, American rifleman? Why you so? Why can you
Hey,
guys
how
have
you doing?
conversation without talking about racism,
Hold up.
talking about white people, Chinese people?
I use the
I mean,
bathroom.
talking about other race, trying to paint them as the enemy of everybody.
I've never
That
said that. People call me a
you,
coon. They say I
but why are
defend
you
white
talking
people
about
every
white
day.
girl? Why are you talking about white
Hold on.
women,
Hey, AM. Don't I defend white people all the time?
bros?
See, she won't even come on and help me.
Hey man, maybe
They call, but no, AM. Don't they call me a
hey,
coon?
American rifleman, man. Just be honest. You just want to go to Africa to get a wife, man. You're not going there to
And
build
what's wrong with
anything.
that? Yeah, I do want to go to
Just tell us
Africa
that's
and
why
get
you're
a
going
wife,
there.
and I'm
Don't
not
try to tell
ashamed of
us you're
that. What's
going to
wrong
go
with
build
that?
Ghana. You
What's
want to go
wrong with
build
getting an
Ghana.
African wife?
But don't come here telling us you're going there to go build Ghana. You're going there to go build up Ghana. Did
I've never
Ghanaians
said
tell you they don't know how
anything.
to build their
I've
own
never
thing?
said anything like that, Mike. Why are
You
you
come on the
even?
show trying to
You're
lecture
making
us
stuff
on how
up.
we can build Africa. What the heck? What brain do you have? Look, I mean, what the heck?
I don't even. Okay, are you done, sir? Okay, good. So, like I said, young black men, if you want a fine black woman, get your passport and go to Africa, and don't let anybody shame you. Get the
All right,
finest,
all right.
youngest,
That's what you're
blackest
doing
girl
too.
you can
Passport
get in
bro.
Africa within obviously be legal. So I don't want anybody to say I'm trying to advocate anything. I'm not. So you always have to put a disclaimer out there or whatever. But go be young. If you're a young black man making money and you have a certain amount of financial freedom, man, live your life. Don't let these dusty Negroes try to deter you. Go where you're wanted. Go where you can make a future for yourself. Don't listen to these dusty Negroes.
Well, if that's what you want to do,
Exactly.
just be upfront with it. But don't come here and be trying to lecture us about other things. Trying to
I ain't
tell us,
lecturing. I'm just telling the
I want to
truth.
go to Africa to go build Ghana.
Listen.
Just say
I
you want to
wish
go there
I
and get a
had
wife.
another black.
And we'll
Listen,
give you the
I
respect.
literally, I wish that I had another black man come to me when I was 23.
Do you
Say,
have the means to build
you
Africa?
got
Why
your
do you
pass. No,
come on the show to
hold on.
tell us you're
They
going
said,
to build
they
Africa?
said, I wish another older black man would have came to me when I was 23 and said, "Good, AFR, you got your passport. Go to Africa. This is what I know about it.
Well, when
Let
you
me
were
take you up
23,
under
you were
my.
busy.
I wish I
When you were
had that. I
23, what were
wish
you
I
doing?
had that.
But when you were 23, what were you doing? Insulting African. Oh, African booty
I
scratcher.
was actually trying
Look
not
at
to
the African. Them
get
Africans
killed
live on
in
trees. The Africans
useless
are
wars.
monkeys.
I was trying
That's
to
what you were
survive.
busy
I was
doing at
trying to
23,
survive,
right?
not getting killed in useless wars. That's what I was doing.
You were insulting Africans when you were 23. Now you got older. Now you
I
realize,
was
oh, the
insulting
Africans.
Africans. What are you
That's
talking
what
about?
your generation were doing back then.
Tyler, you hear this? He just
That's
makes
what
these
you
Yeah,
guys
no,
were
statements.
man.
doing. Now all of a sudden, you were just like
The
Oshedu
bottom line is
Jackson.
this: when you deal with the typical African
Wow,
mind
you're
like Mike,
mentally ill,
most
Mike.
Africans don't think
You're
like this.
mentally ill. I'm
Thank
done.
God.
Bro, you guys are a bunch of white men in black skin, man. You just trying to, opportunists. The same with white people when they want to go steal from Africa, they act like, oh, we like the
And
Africans.
plus,
Oh, they
opportunist
say
isn't a
it's
dirty
the
word.
same
Like
tactic.
opportunist isn't a
Bro,
bad thing.
listen,
That's another weird thing you keep saying. You're on
bro,
some crazy liberal stuff.
bro,
Being an
but
opportunist and taking an opportunity doesn't mean you're a bad person. So get that
no,
out
it
of your
doesn't. Of
mind.
course, it doesn't mean you're bad.
You're on
But
some
when you're trying to
softy
deceive
stuff.
us,
Like,
hold on. It doesn't mean you're
I
bad.
tell black men, be an opportunist. Take
But
opportunities
don't
when
try
you
to
can.
deceive us as
Do
if
it.
we're dumb. Don't try to
Do it.
try and now tell us. Listen, that game you guys are playing, white people already played it. Well, they tell the Africans, oh, we like the African, humanitarian, all that bullshit. But they commit genocide and steal stuff. So you come here trying to give us the humanitarian bullshit when it's not true. I can see through you, man. This oh, I'm coming to Africa charity or want to come build this. It's a lie, man. You come here to just get a wife and sleep around with girls and that's it. Which hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. That's your life. Hey, but don't come here trying to think and deceive us on the show as if we just a bunch of dumb people.
So let
Or
me
you
ask you
trying
a
to tell me,
question.
oh, let's Pan
So
African,
so
let's come
so so
together.
so
Come
so,
on,
so
man.
let me ask you a question. The African Methodist Episcopal Church has hundreds of churches and missions in the continent for the last 60, 70 years and whatnot. Who built in rural Africa, a lot of stuff you see in rural Nigeria, rural Ghana, everything was built
Rural
by the
Nigeria.
African
You
American
went there. You
missionaries
went
and
there.
whatnot.
You
Yes.
went there and you saw it, right? Really,
Yes. You know what I'm
the
saying?
church is built in Nigeria, right? You went there and saw it, right? You've been to Nigeria, right?
rural Africa, the African
Africa is
Methodist.
a
So I
country,
don't know
right?
about Nigeria.
Africa is a country.
Let me
You're not
I
making
don't not
sense,
not sure
Gala.
about
You're
that.
not making
But
sense. Africa is not a country.
bottom line is what I'm saying is this:
It's a continent.
The Leon Sullivan group, right, was
Who?
instrumental in getting major companies in the '80s and the '90s to come to Africa under
To come
Sullivan
to Africa.
principles of
Africa is a
investment. Right?
country, right?
the continent. You know, the
What is
continent.
wrong with you, Mike?
You know,
What is wrong with you?
I have no
what is
idea.
wrong
You
with
know,
you?
I have
What
no
is wrong with
idea.
you and Kala? You talking, you
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
have
So
respect for people. When you take an entire continent of people and
you guys,
put them in one
you guys
box.
want respect.
No,
You
no,
guys
when you
want
take an
respect that
entire
you don't
continent and put
deserve.
everybody in one little box, that doesn't make sense. That's disrespectful, man. If you want to talk
Yeah.
about what's going on, specifically talk about the area you're talking about. Don't come here and say something going on in Liberia and say, "Oh, the Africa." That's disrespectful, man.
Well, at the same time, right? Then why is it that when we talk about Africa, right, you guys interject this like like you'll say, "Well, Colin, you shouldn't go to Liberia. That's Africa." Well, I'm talking about Liberia now. Suddenly, the African
No,
card
you want to
gets trumped
stereotype
again. You
some
know?
group in America that went somewhere, some village somewhere in
If we say
maybe.
if I say I want to go to Angola, you got people like Amar. Oh, you can't go. The Angola's always told me, man. You guys, when Black America's ready to come home, we could build a new everything, right? No, you can't do that. So suddenly it becomes Africa when you're trying to exclude us, right? But when we try to include ourselves in there, well, you all trying to talk about Africa as just one continent or not. But when you guys want the power to exclude us, suddenly you guys take ownership of the whole entire continent. Next thing you know, you're gonna tell us we can't go to Madagascar. You know,
Nobody's taking ownership.
I'm not gonna say.
I never told you not to go anywhere. So
You
I don't know
just
which
did.
ownership you're talking about. I've
You just
never.
did.
The fact of the matter is, if you want to talk shit about, you want to share,
You just did. You just did.
did what?
You don't even understand your own comprehension. You're basically what you're doing is you're taking
No, what I'm
ownership
doing is
over a
just
continent.
exposing your bullcrap. That's what I'm doing. You
No,
guys
no,
are so
no, no,
fake.
no, no. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
You,
something.
O'Shea Duke Jackson, O'Shea, all of a sudden, this guy he didn't see
What's
anything
wrong
good
with
in
O'Shea?
Africa.
What's wrong with O'Shea's what he's doing?
You were
He's
there.
doing this.
You, O'Shea, particularly O'Shea, at least you were kind of like more fake about it, but O'Shea was straightforward. This guy was literally so bigoted. His level of bigotry was spreading towards African people, dragging Africa for years. All of a sudden, somebody told him that, hey, you can get a girl now, you can get laid in Africa.
No,
He wasn't
please.
getting, he wasn't getting laid in Black American community.
O'Shea's a man of
All of
integrity.
a sudden, he's telling us he's a Pan-African. I'm like, what? Who you
Yeah, I
fooling,
said he's
man?
a Pan-African. He's good to me.
Man, he was
He's
what?
one to me. He's one to
Because you're
me.
one and the same. That's why, birds are
I'm
the
saying
same
no.
feathers.
The bottom
Yeah,
line is this:
birds are the same feathers.
you don't
Now,
like
hold
O'Shea.
on. A dude that
You guys are
employs
fake,
multiple
man.
African people that wouldn't have jobs without him. That's the bad guy, right?
We don't have
Okay.
job. You see, that's the thing. The supremacy bullshit. It's like me in America now.
Supremacy bullshit. What are you talking about? He's actually doing stuff for the people.
Hold on. I have a
He actually
business.
has major investments in Uganda.
Dude. Listen, I'm living. I have business in America, and some Black American work for me. It's like me now coming here and say without me they won't have a job.
All
This
right.
has
Well, what's your
nothing to
business?
do with what we're
What's
just
your
talking. This has
business,
nothing
Mike?
to do with
Mike, what's your
O'Shea
business?
Duke Jackson providing opportunities to Africans on the
What's your
continent.
what's
Bro,
your
no one is asking for your
what's your
cheap
business?
ass opportunity, man. No one's asking for your cheap ass opportunity. What are you talking about? Some cheap.
Mike,
You start a
what's your
business.
opportunity?
Hold on. Employing
Mike,
somebody.
what's your
Wait,
business?
hold
What's
on.
your business? Can I Google it? Can
Dude,
I Google
shut
it?
the hell up, man. Shut the hell up. Because I know you want to destroy me. So you take my business and go destroy it. That's what you want to do. It's
No, I'm not. I want
typical
it. Can you leave a Yelp review?
FBA. Bros, I know people like you, dude. That's what you want to do. You want to take here and go destroy
No,
it. Go
I don't do stuff
report
like
it and
that, bro.
go.
I don't
No,
do
it's
stuff like
okay.
that.
No, don't worry. Don't worry
Ain't
about my
nobody
business.
worried
Don't
about your
worry. Stay out of
dusty
my
ass.
business. Stay out of my business. The point I'm trying to make here is this. You start a business, you employ someone, you're not doing that person a favor. You want to use the person to make money. That's what it is. It's a mutual benefit. So don't say, I'm there, I employ somebody, oh, I'm doing them a favor. I'm building. Get the fuck out of here, man. Are you serious? That's a very insulting statement to make. Say because you went there to make money, you hire someone to help you, and now you're saying you're helping. It's like me, you saying you're building. It's like me in America, because I employ Black American. Now coming here and telling you I'm the one building Black America. What kind of that's a stupid statement to make, man. All these arrogant talks that you guys do, like just talk down on the entire continent of people. Just this talk gotta leave your system, man. Learn to if you wanna you come deal with people, show some respect, man. And then when somebody come here to say a little thing about your community, you can't stand it. Carla, let me tell you my problem started with you guys. When you guys are doing all that talking the way you like about Africa, talking about I said, hey, that's your opinion. That's fine. You can do it. But the moment I came on Danny's show and started talking about the Black American community, you and Danny's lost it. You couldn't deal with it. You couldn't take it. So basically, I'm too inferior to talk about you. But you're so superior that you have all the rights to talk about my own people. So that double standard is what you guys want to play, and you talking
No,
about
it's
let's
not
kumbaya?
because no, hold on. You're just an inferior person. It's not because you're African. If that's what you're thinking,
No, I can't
it's not
even make a
because you're African.
comment
It's
about
because
the
you're just an
problem in the Black
inferior
American
person.
community without them
No, you're
crying
just
about
an
that.
inferior person.
Oh, okay, really? Yeah, very smart state, very smart way to come back. Oh, I can't talk about what's going on in Black American community. I can't even say, oh, this thing. It's not even like I'm insulting. I'm just saying, hey, we got to stop this thing that's going on here, this gang thing.
Well,
Oh,
every
I
time
can't
you
even talk
open your
about us.
mouth, you're misinformed, Mike. You open your mouth and you're misinformed. So
Misinformed.
that's another reason.
Wait.
Nobody.
You
There's
sound
plenty
so
of
foolish.
Africans. There's plenty of Africans that get to speak on Black American issues that are informed and thoughtful and that they engage. But
Let me ask
you
you a
are
question.
not thoughtful.
Wait now. Let me ask you a
You're
question.
actually a troll or something. Or
Hold on. You say I'm misinformed about the Black American. Who's more misinformed? Me, that I live in America, in the Black community,
Yeah,
or
that
you?
doesn't mean you know anything about Black
Wait,
America.
you? I don't. Are you kidding me? You that never stepped foot in Africa, but you're an expert on everything. You in Cal. So who's more? That's hypocrisy at the highest level. That's just foolish thing to say. I lived literally in America for years and years and years. Lived in the community. I just told
You'll
you
never
from
be
the
one
good
of
and the
us.
bad. I've experienced it all. You never stepped foot in Africa, but you have all the authorities to talk about Africa. I don't have any authorities to talk about the Black American community. I have zero authority to speak. Even though I live here, I've had the experience, the worst experience, from being threatened to be killed, from all to the good experience as well. I've had all the experience. I can't even say anything about it. Even the things that affect me in America, I can't talk anything about Black America because I'm too. You're an African. You don't have your authority. You're beneath us. But we, the Black Americans, we can sit and talk about Africa all day. Tell them how they are dusty. Tell them how we can build them up. You know that superiority shit, dude. Don't bring Pan African bullshit kumbaya with me if you want to play that game, dude. Because you're not superior to me. That's a fact, and I'm not superior to anyone. So if you want to play all these black supremacy shit, I ain't with you, man. Don't come bringing kumbaya, just unite shit, man. I'm not with that. Okay, you're not better than any African. That's a fact, and I'll leave you guys with that.
All right. Well, nobody said anybody was better than any Africans, and Mike is a very ignorant and I think probably stupid person, but it is what it is. Can't be helped. I got to take off too because I'm going to work. So, thank you, AM, for having this very lively discussion. Hopefully, you need to tune in to Brandon's channel a little bit more and read a couple of books, and I think you would understand Pan-Africanism is more than just my brother, Black African. It's way more than that. So it involves work and integrity and things of that nature that a lot of our people unfortunately lack, especially integrity and truth telling. It seems to be a very backwards thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, I can check it out.
Huh?
I can check it out.
I can barely hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, you can't hear me?
Yeah, your voice is like kind of low.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying that I'll check out. I'll check it out.
All right, cool. Even though I know you've had beef apparently with Brandon before or something,
Nope.
or you had a disagreement with him.
Yeah, it was a disagreement.
What was it about, if you don't mind me asking?
The disagree. Do you know I don't think you know this guy named Kwesi, right? Anyways, the disagreement was there was an African guy who does not like Black Americans, and like he basically said if Black Americans go to his country, he's gonna. Actually, it wasn't Black Americans; it was Jamaicans. But basically, he just doesn't like diasporas. It's like if they go to his country, he's gonna hunt them down or whatever. And then they were like, okay, what that guy's saying is xenophobic, right? And
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, it is xenophobic, but they were just mad that I was letting the guy, like I was giving a guy a place to speak. So yeah,
Mhm.
they were upset about that because they were like, why would you let someone come in and say that? And I'm like,
Mhm.
it's not that I agree with what he's saying, but I don't know, I just feel like that's his opinion, you know? Like if he because the reason why the guy didn't like Jamaicans in particular is because he's from London and then during that time, you know, there was some gang war between Africans and Jamaicans. So he had his own experiences with like life-threatening experiences with them. So he was just saying that, you know, I don't like them. If they come to my country, you know, I'm gonna kill them and I'm gonna get rid of them. And people were just like, well, he can't be
Well, that's
saying that.
well, that is yeah, that is out of line.
It is, but I mean, it's trauma,
Not, I
you know?
mean, that's, but you can't really like allow people to kind of have that type of rhetoric that's dangerous. Like you could say, okay, I don't like them and let them state like all the reasons why they don't. And even like they could just maybe say a couple names, but once you go into I need to start culling them and getting rid of them, that's like illegal.
I mean, okay, so I don't know. I just feel like it's just the way that he felt, and that's free speech, and he has the right to express that. Like, obviously, he
No, you
wasn't
don't have
going
the
to
right to
say what.
threaten to hurt people. That's not free
Yeah,
speech. That's threatening
I mean,
speech. That's like threatening people.
people have said much worse, though.
Huh?
People have said, like,
I
in
get
life,
it, but
in
that's
real
not
life,
good.
people say stuff like that all the time, and
Yeah, but that's not
it's a
good.
lot.
Like it's just like the people on the black people on Twitter that talking about like kill all white people. Like that doesn't, you know. But if a white person did that, then they start crying. But that's another story for another day. But that's just weird to me.
Right, but I like again, if you look at the background of why he said that, there are people who have said things like that in re like, this guy was part of a gang war, like, we have to he got stabbed, you know, like, this wasn't just something that he just said for no reason, and I would tell him like, I would tell him
Oh, what are you
behind the
doing?
scenes, "You can't say that."
Are you going to work?
Okay. Yeah, but I would tell him behind the scenes, you know, like, you need to talk to therapy, you can't say that, but it's like, at the end of the day, I know wherever he is right now, he still feels the same way because there's unfinished business between that group of people and him. But I do understand that, especially at the time that this happened, it wasn't appropriate for him to say what he wanted to say, but, you know, like, people already know who it is. People know who it is. I don't know, I'll just say this. I saw a different side to that person, you know? I just saw a different side to that person, and it you know, he comes from my country, so it's just something that's even different too, like, it's just a different element of I always wanted to understand why he would say things like that. I would tell him, "You can't in public say anything like that." But, you know, I've already played his videos so many times, the videos that he made saying that anyways, that's one of the reasons why his channel got removed is because of, him talking about he's going to, you know, get rid of those people and things like that, and yeah, um Yeah. Um, I don't know. Kwesi, he's still around. He's still in these streets. Um, the reason why he's not coming back on YouTube is I know, like, he basically had hate speech on his channel. So there's no possible way that he can come back, because let's say if him and I were to have a conversation right now, somebody said anything about diasporas, he would automatically get into that trance of, he would automatically just, what he went through and what he experienced at the time with diasporas is something that I hope that one day he takes it more seriously and he gets some therapy, because there's a lot of trauma there with that. And I think that, especially in the Black community, there's this thing of, I don't want to talk about what happened to me, especially, if you're a man and there's gang violence and I don't know, maybe something happened to you and you just don't want to tell anyone about what happened. But he really needs to see somebody about it and talk to them about it and be free, because I tried to tell him, I tried to say, listen, the people who did whatever they did to you, those people were hoodlums. They were no good, but you can't use what happened to you to judge the whole group of people from that country, you know? Like, you had a problem with Jamaicans, that's okay. That doesn't mean all Jamaicans are like that. Like, likewise, that could have been someone or some people from a different country. So if it wasn't Jamaicans, if it was Congolese who did that to you, then would you hate everybody from Congo? No. So anyway, it like I tried to speak to him about it and things like that, but he was just adamant. He was just like, you know what? Like, you don't understand what happened. You don't know what I went through. If I want to hate those group of people, I have the right to. And once he said that to me, once he said, if I want to hate Jamaicans, I'm going to hate Jamaicans. Once he said that to me, I knew that there was nothing I can do. There was nothing I could say. Like, you just have to, you just have to let that person have the right to be that way and hope for the best. But yeah, it's sad. I hope, but this is the thing, right? This news is from a long time ago, right? So since then, he did go to Ghana. Before he went to Ghana, he made videos on YouTube saying that once he goes to Ghana, he's gonna do something about the Jamaicans. That's what he said. But he went to Ghana and evidently he did not do anything to Jamaicans. So I feel like that was a burst of anger, which made him, make that video. But I don't actually believe he did anything in real life. It was just emotions and yeah. But but yeah, I'm gonna try to, wherever Kwesi is, I would like to have an update about, how he feels about, that community and how has he moved on and like, found some good people to be with and things like that. Yeah. But I noticed a lot of people who say that they don't like a certain group of people online. It's just online stuff, for the most part. No, it's just online stuff. But yeah. Did Nakamizi report him? No, actually, it was a Jamaican who reported him, which makes sense. It makes sense. So it was a Jamaican lady who reported his channel for hate speech, and you know, of course, YouTube's gonna take it seriously, like let's say you're from Rwanda and someone says that about your group of people. Um, the UK sounds messy. Um, well, I I don't know. I was just a visitor there, so I can't speak from somebody who lives there, but from what I heard, gang culture has drastically changed. That's one of the reasons why they installed a lot of CCTV cameras and things like that. So there still is a gang culture that's in their drill music, but that's for people who are very, very young. People who live in the projects or the council estates. That's usually who is part of that culture. But for the most part, people have a life and are working and are just fine. There are still gangs, of course, but now they've evolved. You know, there's Somali gangs. Uh, I think the Africans and Jamaicans are working together now in gang culture, which is very interesting. But yes, anyway, there's just different types of gangs with mixed people from all types of backgrounds. But yeah, the thing about gang culture that is still very disappointing is that they're all, stabbing, shooting, killing each other. That's all they're doing. So it's pretty much a waste of time because, you know, you're gonna travel to England to become part of a gang and then go to jail or get killed. Like, why did you leave your country to do that? I never really understood that. Like, no offense to, any African people out there, but I really just and people say, "Oh, it's people are a product of their environment." And I'm like, there are so many countries in which people are so poor, so much poorer than they are in the West, yet they don't partake in gang culture like the pandemic that is in the West. So I don't know. Whenever people say it's part of your environment, uh, sure, but it's also really bad parenting because I'm sorry, when I was a kid, there would be no way that I would even have time to be caught up in a gang. Like my parents knew everything I was doing. There was no way that I could be recruited into a gang. Like absolutely not. So, and then people say, "Oh, it's single motherhood. That's why people go to gangs and it's this, it's that, is Mm, I don't blame the kids so much for it. I just blame basically the parents. I don't know. And then people go like, okay, well, what if it's a parent who is part of like, let's say a single mom who has to work all the time and she has no time to take care of her kids. And I'm just like, if that's the case, does she not have family? Like, is there absolutely nobody who could watch the kid? Like, absolutely, there's no one, no model at all. Like, the reason why these boys join gangs is because they're left alone. They feel like they're a part of a family when they join the gang, right? So it's like, how is it that you can't replace the gang family with an actual real life family in order to prevent them from joining a gang? Like, I've never really, I guess things are way more complicated than what I'm thinking, but I don't know. The whole just I don't know. Like, whenever I see or hear that this guy is a part of a gang or this girl is a part of this or this girl is a part of that, I always think, where are their parents? Like, where are their grandparents? Like, where is anybody? How is a child allowed to do all of this? You know? Like, and then you look at these people, you look at these cases, and you realize that these kids are not even in school. They're just doing whatever they want. And then the parents go like, "Oh, well, this child was such a good child. They were this, they were that." And I'm just like, no, something doesn't make sense. But yeah, I'm going off topic. I think I should talk about this separately in a different stream. Anyways, thanks guys. Thanks everybody for being here. I will see you guys in the week after next week. We'll be back with a different topic. And yeah.